I think that's what I can say. Prosecutions authority, executives and management, and of course the wider management. The engagements will commence on the 2nd of February because I will be at the office on the 2nd. I feel prepared to start the new role.
The EFF is calling for major electoral reforms, including legislation that would require national and provincial elections to be held simultaneously with the local government elections. At its strategic planning plenum in Boksburg over the weekend, the party resolved that the current election model is becoming increasingly unsustainable. The party believes that elections have become a costly exercise for political parties as they take place every 3 years. Alpha Ramushwana has more.
The EFF says the first major reform that is needed within the IEC is to automatically register everyone as soon as they turn 18 years old. The party believes youth voter turnout is low because there is no law that compels them to register to vote. Moreover, the Red Berets say it is financially unsustainable to spend millions on election campaigns every 3 years. EFF leader Julius Malema says the solution is to combine the national and provincial polls with the local government elections.
Let's call for one election day every 5 years. We must go vote for national, province and local government so that for the next 4 years, we concentrate on service delivery, not on permanent campaigning.
He says a critical focus for the party's parliamentary caucus this year is to propose major electoral reforms. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Boksburg.
In the Middle East, Israel says it will open the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt in a limited pilot phase today. This as thousands of sick and wounded Palestinians wait for urgent medical care abroad. Yesterday, the Israeli military agency that controls aid to Gaza said the crossing will reopen in both directions for Gaza residents on foot only, and that its operation will be coordinated with Egypt and the European Union. The Israeli army said it has completed a complex that will serve as a screening facility for Palestinians passing in and out of Gaza through the crossing. Rafah is the only border crossing in Gaza that does not pass through Israel, and it was jointly managed by Palestinian and Egyptian authorities in coordination with Israel before the war. But it has been largely shut for nearly 2 years after Israeli forces seized it in May 2024 during the country's war on Gaza. Gold's trading at $4,892.50 an ounce. The rand at 16.13 to the dollar, at 22.09 to the pound, at 19.13 to the euro. Brent crude oil at $66.41 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got wet weather conditions across Gauteng this morning. If you are traveling on the roads, please do remember to keep your headlights on, drive a bit slower than usual, and do be on the lookout for other cars. If you're traveling in Alexandra, an accident has already been reported on the N3 North right near Marlborough Drive, delays from Vincent Chabalala Road, and another one on the N3 South right near Van Buren Road, causing delays.
And in your sport, Spurs held Manchester City. Man United beat Fulham while Villa lost to Brentford. In the CAF Confed Cup, Kaizer Chiefs up to second in Group D after beating Zesco 1-0. And in netball, the Spa Proteas beat England by 15 points to win the third test, taking the series 2-1.
A look at your weather. It's a partly cloudy start for Gauteng today with scattered showers and thunder showers. Joburg is starting at lows of 14 degrees, set to reach highs of 28. Pretoria is at 16 and 30. Vereeniging is at 15 and 31 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. The head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal has reportedly gone into hiding.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Calling all the brightest minds in Gauteng. Time to flex your general knowledge smarts in the brain of 702. Enter now on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
7 minutes after 6 o'clock. Dumelang, happy Monday. Welcome to 702 Breakfast. My name is Clement Manyatela, in for Bongani today. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and I hope your week will be equally wonderful. The usual team is here. Bapelile and Rafiwa are taking your calls. KG on the ones and twos. And Mateo has your business news and Amuramela with your traffic. Are you guys good? Did you have a good weekend?
Great weekend, quite still, didn't move around too much. Yeah, I don't know.
So what does that mean? Like you only went to two braais or you were
mostly
just
got
in the
groceries,
house?
got groceries and set at the house.
Amu?
A very good weekend, well rested, and yeah, looking forward to the week.
It's just been raining hard. Like I woke up and we've had a storm. What
was
happened last
about
night?
At 2 a.m. Was it 2 a.m.? Around
Around that time.
What is going on? So much wind. And on my way to work, I'm seeing trees blocking the roads. It was a hectic storm.
It was like there were some trees blocking the roads as well. My side leaving home this morning. So I hope you're keeping safe out there. There's been flooding in some areas, so please be on the lookout and be safe out there. Otherwise, what did you get up to? How was your weekend? So I had a wonderful weekend. It was more golfing and. So golfing, and then I didn't read actually this weekend, which is quite devastating. And I celebrated Ossi's birthday, my dog, on Friday. So there's been a debate with some of my friends about when you actually celebrate your pet's birthday.
I was about to say, how old now?
So on Friday it was Ossi's 1 year birthday celebration. But a friend of mine says, no, you have to celebrate his birthday, like the day he was actually born, because Friday was more the day I got him. So when do you actually celebrate a pet's birthday?
I think it makes sense to celebrate it on the day you got the dog, because that will be a forever memory inside of you and your family, not when it was originally born. I don't know if it.
So we center ourselves on a dog's identity.
Not identity, but on
the day they were born,
on
is
the
part
day
of
they
who they
arrived
are, right?
to us, on the day they became part of us.
So we center ourselves there. It's about us.
It's not about us.
But also, how do you celebrate? Do you call other people who have dogs?
So what I did, like I bought a dog cake, and then I got like hats for him and the stuff you wear on your birthday if you're a dog.
Living the soft life.
And then I had a photographer to take some pictures of him. I didn't have time because I had golf on Friday, but otherwise I wanted to invite some of like the doggy friends of his that we sometimes walks with. Like some of my friends' dogs, for instance. Yeah. But do you think we must celebrate on the day because I feel like we do center ourselves in a bit.
I think if you know the day they were born, sure.
You should.
Obviously going to do that. But
if you were there, like if you were there to witness the birth.
No, man, I don't think that's got anything to do with it.
Like if you were there the moment they were born, if you were there.
Okay, let's hear what the listeners think. 011-883-0702. I mean, how would I have witnessed the birth?
Let's say you have a bigger dog, you have like two older dogs or whatever that have, that was expecting
well, he's
puppies,
the firstborn.
And then it was born during that period. Then you can record that as the birth date of the dog.
Okay, 011-883-0702. When do you celebrate your pet's birthday? Is it on the day you got them? Or is it on the day they were actually born? I'd like your thoughts on that, please. Before 7 o'clock, we're going to speak to Mbengenge Benjamin, who is a research and advocacy officer at Judges Matter. After nearly 2 years on special leave, Judge President Mbenenge is back on the bench, cleared of sexual harassment and impeachment. So the Judicial Service Commission has ruled that there wasn't enough evidence to prove his accuser, the court secretary Andy Swamengo's claims, though it found he acted improperly by having a flirtatious relationship with a junior employee. So he's been found guilty of breaching the Code of Judicial Conduct and inappropriate conduct for a judge. And I wonder, has this case made you extra cautious about how you interact with your junior colleagues at work and how far you take things should there be interest? Like, do you understand more about power dynamics? For our big interview, though, just after 7 o'clock, we speak to Crispin Perry, who speaks on behalf of the Department of International Relations. And we'll talk to him about South Africa's decision to show the door to Israel's top diplomat, Ariel Sidman, saying that the move follows repeated breaches of diplomatic rules and conduct that crossed a red line. Israel has hit back as well, by the way, by expelling South Africa's senior diplomat, rejecting the accusations as false and setting the stage for a diplomatic standoff that could really strain relations, and not only between Pretoria and Tel Aviv. Mutel, what are you asking us this morning?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, what's your favorite thing about your phone that you own now? It could be the music that's on it. It could be the fact that it runs your life. It could be the fact that it records the amount of runs that you've done in the week. What's your favorite thing about the phone that you use?
Yeah, I say one, I would say notes, because literally I work on my phone.
Yeah,
all
the Notes
time.
app is quite handy.
App. Yeah, and I mean, when I've got an idea, I just quickly go to my notes and I put it up there. When I'm thinking about the show and I'm preparing for interviews, I do it here. So in a nutshell, if you take the notes away from my phone,
And those notes are protected. I was about to ask because it sounds like everything.
Oh my God, maybe they should be protected. But can you have a password to your notes?
I think you can.
I must do that because there's quite precious cargo on this.
Just don't forget
app.
the password.
Yeah, that would mess me up.
The storage on my phone. I don't battle with storage at all, as well as my books app, because I've got ebooks that I read from my books, my library on my phone, because sometimes I don't have the actual book with me. So then I find that the electronic book comes in handy. I'm able to just continue reading my books. Yeah, I think those are the top two.
I think one feature I like about my phone, other than the camera and whatever, is the fact that I can use it as a remote, like connected to the smart TV.
That's so cool.
Because I'm tired of looking for the remote, man.
That is so cool.
No one
I didn't
ever
even
owns
know
up.
that.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. No one ever owns up when it comes to the remote. It's always lost.
Yeah.
Or
And
if you find it doesn't have batteries.
Yeah, I'm
That's
living with
and
a 2-year-old.
for 4 months now, all I've been doing is change batteries from your DSTV and your TV remote, because the batteries are flat.
You
I'm
interchange
lazy
them
to go
between
to
the two
builders.
remotes. Wow, just buy
I'm
batteries,
lazy.
man.
I'm
Come
lazy. I haven't had time for
get
4
an
months.
Get an
But
app.
I'm now gonna get an app
Yeah.
because I didn't know that's quite something you
I'll
can
tell
do.
you why I'm asking that question.
All right, but you tell us as well. What's your favorite thing about your phone? You can give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note.
702.
Weather.
All right, let's look at how the weather is expected to give us today. Pretoria, expected to be partly cloudy with scattered showers and thunder showers. Temperatures of the lows of 16 peaking at 30 degrees. Johannesburg, partly cloudy with scattered showers and thunder showers, starting at a low of 15 and peaking at 28. Vereeniging, lows of 15, peaking at 31. Bombela, lows of 18, highs of 30. Bloemfontein, lows at 17, highs of 34. Durban is expected to become partly cloudy with isolated afternoon showers and thunder showers, starting at a low of 23 and peaking at 31 later. Gqeberha, lows of 19, peaking at 27. East London, lows of 18, highs of 27. In Cape Town, it's expected to be partly cloudy with moderate to fresh southerly winds, starting at 6 p.m. and peaking at 26 degrees.
EWN Traffic.
16 minutes after 6 o'clock, the CWN traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, how are we looking?
Well, Clement, we've got a major accident scene reported right on the N3 North in the Alexandra area, and another one on the N3 South heading towards Germiston. It's right near Van Buren Road. It's causing massive queues coming out of the Kidulis interchange. Do expect about a 20-minute hold up there. And then the one on the N3 in the Alex area, do expect about a 15-minute hold up. And then I'm being told of the tree that has fallen across Winnie Mandela Drive near Republic Road. It is causing a bit of issues this morning, so please be on the lookout. And do remember that it is still raining, wet weather conditions, so do expect delays. Drive with care and do plan your trip ahead of time. I'll have more updates for you, to stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a nervous but excited first-time driver waiting for the perfect gap to switch lanes.
I can do this.
The pressure. The Outsurance pointsman knows it's not just a car in traffic. It's a sense of freedom and independence on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance Pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
I don't think you should call it a birthday. I think you should call it an anniversary. You are celebrating 1 year since you've bought the dog. It's an anniversary, not a birthday. Unless if you know the date the dog was actually born, then you can call it a birthday. But if it's possible, don't celebrate those things. Clement and the team, have a nice day. Somewhere in Pretoria.
Why?
Good morning,
If
good morning.
possible.
702 team. Cello in Pretoria. Okay, I celebrate my dog's birthday the day that I got him. That's when I celebrate his birthday. Thank you very much.
Hi, Simon. Thank you for a good show. Listen, I have a little Shih Tzu. His name is Maxie. He turns 2 tomorrow. I celebrate the birthday on the day that he was born. So when I got him, then the owner had told me when his birth date was. So it's always on the 3rd of February. So we celebrate his second birthday. Well, happy birthday to Aussie. I plan on making him like equivalent cake of rice with his chicken breast. It's his favorite. So I'm gonna try that for tomorrow. But thanks for a good show. Bakang from Centurion.
Bakang, thanks. Okay, I think then, because I do know the birthday, by the way, it's the 2nd of January. Yeah, but I guess us being humans want to make everything about ourselves. That's why on Friday I celebrated the way. But I get what some of you are saying, that is more of an anniversary. So maybe as opposed to branded as a birthday, rather an anniversary of when Aussie joined the family. Someone on Twitter asked me, what does Aussie stand for? I've explained it before. The full name is Osiqinisayo. And everybody laughs every time I tell them that that's the name of the dog. Kanti, is it not a thing to give our dogs like African names?
It's a serious name.
Buffy, Rosie,
Sporty.
Do you ever use the full name?
Yeah,
call the dog?
when I'm angry at him.
Oh.
When he's being naughty, I say, Osiqinisayo. Guys, people don't use African names for their pets.
Oh my goodness. Well, I had an African name for my dog, my previous dog, Bakhinne.
Bakhinne?
Yeah,
meaning?
angry.
Who was angry when you got that?
I was so mad. I was so angry because we had a dog and it passed away in a very traumatic way. It wasn't nice how it died, right? And so I was so mad. I was a mad person.
Oh, shame. I get it.
Yeah. Then when we had him, I just said, I'm going to name this dog Bakhinne because I'm so angry.
Oh, hectic. Yeah. Ossi Kenisai. Because I just felt like he strengthened me in some way that I can't explain. Yeah.
You and who?
Me.
Okay.
He strengthened me.
So shouldn't it be Ongi?
Hey, Wena, and your question is 21 after 6.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
So, there is a troubling video that's been circulating on social media, and it's actually quite disappointing. And I hope this woman is held accountable in some way. There's a woman who's participating in I think it looks like an anti-foreigner protest in KwaZulu-Natal, and she's seen directing derogatory remarks at the KZN police spokesperson, Robert Nechuanda. She questions Mr. Nechuanda, who, by the way, is Venda, about where he is from and why he is not working where he comes from. And she goes on to say that she will not translate her grievances for him and insists on speaking to someone with more sense, quote unquote, who understands isiZulu. And I mean, throughout this exchange, it's quite shocking. I mean, the woman ultimately tells him that he's no different from a foreigner in her eyes because she does not understand his language. In fact, here's just a bit of a clip from that interaction between this woman and the spokesperson of the police in KZN.
Let me address you in English. You will see. You will see. Can you read?
I can't read. That's the problem.
I wanted to make you read.
You are not.
I mean, guys, if you listen to the entire clip, you will see it on social media. She goes on to even use the term kwere kwere, and what the incident has done is ignite a broader and honestly an uncomfortable conversation, one we frequently avoid, about the persistence of tribalism in South Africa. I mean, how many of us have been on the receiving end of tribalistic comments or stereotypes? Or how many have consciously or unconsciously participated in such talk about groups that are different from ours, right? And when tribalism shows up in our spaces, how do we actually confront it? Is it something you still experience out there, whether you see people do it or maybe in circles that you are part of? And how do you confront it? I think it's disgusting. It's disappointing to have a woman at that age still behaving in that manner towards a fellow African. Not just an African, a fellow citizen. It's 23 after 6.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
All right, there are a number of things you need to know about this morning. Incoming National Prosecuting Authority boss, Advocate Andy Mothibi, says he's ready to step into his new role as the National Director of Public Prosecutions today, despite the controversy surrounding his appointment. So he starts his first day today. In fact, let me ask you, what advice do you have for Advocate Andy Mothibi? Right? If you could offer Advocate Mothibi one piece of advice or motivation as he steps into this high-pressure role, what would it be? And how should he navigate the challenges and public scrutiny ahead? Give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note. The net is tightening around KwaZulu-Natal Hawks head Lesetja Sinona, who has been removed from his office, stripped of his work gadgets and told not to return as the fallout from the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry deepens. Acting on the instructions of Provincial Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, a police captain escorted Sinona and his secretary out of the Hawks Durban offices, even as his lawyers insisted he has not been formally suspended or given written reasons. Newly released U.S. Justice Department documents show that the former President Jacob Zuma attended a private dinner organized by Jeffrey Epstein in London during his official state visit to the UK back in March 2010. Emails reveal the dinner took place at the Ritz Hotel on March 5, Zuma's final day in London, after a program that included events at Buckingham Palace and meetings with then Prime Minister Gordon Brown and senior British officials. By the way, the Jacob Zuma Foundation has dismissed the disclosures as guilt by association, while analysts are saying the revelation is diplomatically awkward but unlikely to have serious consequences for the former president. 8 Islamic countries, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, the UAE, Indonesia, Pakistan, Turkey and Saudi Arabia have condemned Israel for repeated violations of the Gaza ceasefire after Israel's airstrikes killed at least 30 people, including women and children. South Africa is stepping into the spotlight, taking over from Morocco as host of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations with just 60 days to go before kickoff. The Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Peace Mabe, says the country seized the opportunity without hesitation, insisting that South Africa is ready from well-maintained stadiums to proven hosting capacity. And then on this day in 1852, London unveiled the world's first public flushing toilet, a tiny invention with a huge impact. So it didn't just make life more comfortable, it reshaped cities, improved hygiene, and probably saved millions of lives too.
702.
The newspapers.
Maki, good morning. Let's look at some of the newspapers and headlines this morning. How are you?
Good morning, Clement. I'm good, thanks.
Good. What are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at the Citizen this morning. What caught my attention is a story on page 5 where DA members are now calling for the foot and mouth disease to be declared a provincial disaster because Gauteng is a major thoroughfare for cattle, combined with its concentration of feedlots and abattoirs, which makes an action especially risky. So they're saying that they can't wait on national government to basically take action because it's taken too long. And of course, as you know, beef is becoming expensive. There's also a front page there on the front page of the Citizen. In fact, government cuts rich schools money, and it's about how a funding shock hits 400 schools. That's on page 3 of the Citizen. But another story that caught my attention is how municipal officials owe 165.7 million rand in Gauteng, and City of Joburg recorded the highest outstanding amount at 74.8 million rand. But also this was a briefing by MEC for Finance and Economic Development, Abang Maile, yesterday, who outlined the state of Gauteng municipal finances. So those are the stories that caught my attention.
All right, on the business day, they're going with Israel has it wrong on ambassador, says South Africa. Israel's declaration of South Africa's ambassador to Palestine as persona non grata is based on misrepresentation of facts. That's according to the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. And we'll talk more about that with Crispin Piri just after the news at 7 o'clock for a big interview. But I also see that on the Sowetan newspaper, they're also running with that story around the Hawks Head in KwaZulu-Natal and Ntantlam Konazi, the provincial commissioner, the drama that continues to unfold there. It's 28 minutes now after 6 o'clock.
EWN Business.
Hotel, you've been asking us what we love about our phones. Why?
I'm asking the question, Clement, because iPhone is again shooting the lights out with the smartphone leading market share in 2025. Apple CEO Tim Cook called his company's recent iPhone sales surge simply staggering. The company topped Wall Street's expectations in the most recent quarter, posting $143 billion or 2.3 billion rand in total revenue for the period that included a 23% year-over-year bump in sales of its signature smartphone. Apple says it's been a fantastic quarter for iPhone with all-time revenue record of $85 billion. Now, the company recently launched its latest device, the iPhone 17. The iPhone 17 series outsold the iPhone 16 series by 14% in China and the US during the first 10 days of availability. In 2026, the revenue in the smartphones market worldwide is projected to hit $503 billion or 8.1 trillion rand. According to estimates, this market segment is expected to experience an annual growth rate of 3.8%. Now, for years, Apple and Samsung, of course, have been battling it out for number one spot, but the latest data out from Counterpoint shows that Apple was the world's number one smartphone maker in 2025 with a 20% market share, Samsung at 19% market share, followed by Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo.
And how the markets?
Markets are not so good on Friday after the commodity prices tanked. The oil share was weaker by 4%. The rand at this hour 16 Rand 24 against the US dollar, 19 Rand 27 against the euro, and a 22 Rand 22 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down by close to 5% at $4,651 an ounce. Platinum also down at $2,061, with Brent crude at $66.15 a barrel. More business after 7.
6:30, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Maki, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga says he's considering running for one of the top positions in the party's leadership structure. The DA is set to have a National Elective Congress in April where it will be electing a new federal leadership. While the DA has not officially given prospective candidates the green light to start their campaigns, background noises have already started. Thabiso Goba takes a look.
Until campaign season is officially open, the DA prohibits prospective candidates from publicly revealing which federal position they want to campaign for. Speaking to EWN this weekend, DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga says he's looking to step up to the party's national leadership.
Solim's not going to run for the leader of the party, that I can tell you without any shadow of doubt. I am being lobbied by other provinces and including my own province to run for one of the senior positions, which I am considering.
The DA's mayoral candidate for Tshwane, Celia Brink, also told EWN he's seriously considering running for one of the top leadership positions. However, Brink says he won't be challenging John Steenhuisen for party leader. Instead, he says he's looking for a position which he can also balance with being mayor of Tshwane should the DA win the elections in the capital. Thabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
The Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities has cautioned young people about the rising scourge of substance abuse. The department has observed an increasing trend of alcohol and drug misuse, with young people becoming more reliant on these substances. It warns that substance abuse contributes to school dropouts, unemployment, crime, mental health challenges, as well as gender-based violence and femicide. Spokesperson Cassius Silala says substance abuse among the youth is a cause for concern.
As part of the government response, the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities will continue to work with the Central Drug Authority, the Department of Social Development, the Department of Health, Law Enforcement Agency, and civil society organization in strengthening prevention programs, awareness campaigns, and psychosocial support services.
And fellow poet Danny Marai has joined voices mourning the loss of poet and trailblazer Diana Ferris, fondly remembering her as an iconic activist. Ferris, a cultural activist, died on Friday at the age of 72. She's best known for her iconic poem, I've Come to Take You Home, dedicated to Sarah Baartman, whose remains were she accompanied back to South Africa in 2002 after 192 years in France. Ferris's colleague in the literary craft, Danny Marai, described her as a hero.
Dr. Diana Ferris was a trailblazer, and she claimed a lot of things and memories and history back that was brutally taken from her people. We all know the poem about Sarah Baartman, the role she played with the return of her remains to where she came from.
Marai also recalled Ferris's role in challenging long-standing misconceptions about Afrikaans as a language.
Diana was somebody who was very passionate about the Afrikaans language and about all the speakers and creatives in the Afrikaans language landscape. It's a really big loss that her voice has gone quiet, but her legacy will definitely live on among those who knew her and who knew her writing, and the generations that will still discover her work.
A look at your weather. Partly cloudy skies in store for Gauteng today with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures are starting at lows between 14 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 28 and 31 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in Alexandra on the N3 North. This is due to a major accident seen. As a result, the delays are as we come out of Linksfield Road. Please be on the lookout there. And traveling in the city of Tshwane, more accident scenes have been reported on the N1 South approaching the Flying Saucer turn-off. Delays coming out of the Proof Plus interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the R80 East Mabopane Highway between Roslyn and the SK Mpahlele Drive exit.
The top story in Eyewitness News. DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga says he's considering running for one of the top positions in the party's leadership structure.
At Premier Hotels and Resorts, business travelers staying alone enjoy a complimentary drink every night of their stay. So, whatever your tipple, it's on the house at any of our 24 hotels and resorts nationwide. Book today at premierhotels.co.za.
Different sounds, different worlds.
Different artistic expressions, music, art, and fashion collide. Are you coming? Let's go to the place where the beat drops, the fashion pops, and the art rocks.
We're talking Focalistic, Dali Wonga, Mafigi Zolo, Kurt Darren, Matera Doughboy, Zoe Mujicha, Claire Johnston from Mango Groove, the Tshwane Gospel Choir, and more. Mahindra Fusion Fest, Saturday 7th March, Sunbet Arena. Tickets on Ticketmaster now. See you there.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
The Money Show. Weekday evenings at 6.
Allianz Trade releasing numbers showing South Africa is actually one of the more difficult countries in the world in which to collect your unpaid invoices. Louis Delmour is the economist at Allianz Trade.
I think what's interesting is that what we've seen is that many emerging markets have actually been improving in the way they can collect their debt. But it's not the case for South Africa. South Africa actually, for the last 10 years that we've been doing this report, continues with the same score.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, returning as proud investment theme sponsor of the African Mining Indaba 2026. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
You know, sometimes Malema has moments of brilliance, and him actually saying that we need to have national, local and provincial every 5 years. I know other people have have suggested in the past, but the way he put it so eloquently, this is not the Malema who was expelled from the party. This is an educated 2.1 version of Malema, and someone that I don't think white people should be afraid of him. He's not the next Robert Mugabe. Malema is actually very intelligent, articulate. I've dealt with him in the past, where I've landed up at events, where I've spoken with him. He is the most pleasant person to actually deal with. The person who campaigns and sings "shoot the boer, shoot the farmer," that's not the person who's in parliament.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Clement, the team is Andile. I mean, Umtata now. You know, speaking of the rains you experienced in Johannesburg, I'm here in Umtata now. It's so dry. Driving up here on Saturday, passing Alual North under the Orange River. It's so dry, Orange River. It's fun. Come to think that other part of the country is flooding, Mpumalanga and Limpopo, but the other part is dry. Really, nature has its own way of doing things. Thank you. Andile in Umtata.
Yeah, hey, it's been crazy, and I mean, it caught a lot of us by surprise. You know, many of us woke up and we thought, oh my goodness, what happened here last night?
EWN Sport.
20 minutes before 7 o'clock. Cindy Paluta, good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
The storm,
Wow.
When did you realize? Did you know it was happening?
So we've got a ceiling that my husband thought would be romantic when he built our house, which is like an exposed trusses. So it'll be so nice when the rain falls on this tin roof, and we can just. It's not romantic.
Admire the rain,
and it's triple as loud if there's hail. So it's bad. We both got out of bed and we were like, let's just check, and switched on the outside lights. I had to go check on the dog because the dog hates thunder. It was something else because the hail felt like it was coming from all angles, and it just was swirling. It wasn't just coming down. It was like swirling. It was against the windows. It was crazy. And then, on the street groups, guys, please look out for a tree that's fallen across this road and a cable at the corner of 2nd and 8th and all that kind of stuff. So, and when I left for work this morning, I was actually taking it really slowly because, we are the first on the roads, basically.
We are.
You just don't know what you're going to get.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's a number of trees that have also fallen in our area. So you have to take alternative routes. So if you haven't left home, just counter that in. That's something that you may have to deal with. What are we looking at this morning? Hi.
So, hi. So let's start with Premier League action from last night, where Tottenham Hotspur came from 2-0 down to hold Manchester City 2-2. City stays 6 points behind the leaders Arsenal. City's goals were from Shirky and Semenyo, and then Spurs goals both after halftime from Dominic Solanke. Here's Solanke.
The first half was difficult. Couldn't get near them at times, but we've seen it a few times this season where the second half is a different story, and I think in the second half we were great and grew with confidence and belief throughout the half, and could have even gone on to win it. So we know that we need to try to start games quicker because obviously the first half wasn't good enough, but the direction in the second half was great.
Third place Aston Villa lost 1-0 to a 10-man Brentford. Man United beat Fulham 3-2 with a 94th minute Sheshko goal to stay in fourth. 10-man Nottingham Forest finishing 1-1 with Crystal Palace. In the Betway Premiership, Skekone beat TS Galaxy 1-0, both sides finishing with 10 men. Grobler, who scored the goal, was later sent off afterwards with Madonna as they both got into an altercation. In the CAF Confed Cup, Kaizer Chiefs up to second in Group D after beating Zesco 1-0. Stellenbosch went down 3-0 to Belouizdad. In netball, the Spa Proteas beat England 65-50 in the third test, winning the series 2-1. In tennis, the story of the weekend, Carlos Alcaraz coming from a set down to beat Novak Djokovic for his first Australian Open title, and at 22, the youngest male to ever complete a career Grand Slam. The women's title was won by Rybakina, who stunned the world number one Sabalenka. And there was a South African winner on the weekend, Conor Doig and his Belgian partner Dimitar Kisimov winning the junior boys doubles title. Here's Conor.
I think we were really brave by the way we went out there and played. It's not easy to play in front of a lot of people like that in a big stadium, a stadium that has a ton of history and in a tournament that has a ton of history, and the fact that we were in the finals as well. So I think credit to us, we did a good job just going out there and playing and sticking to our guns. I guess I was just proud that we kept our nerve. For me, that was the biggest thing.
In Sevens rugby, the Blitzboks finished fourth in Singapore, losing to New Zealand 14-12 in their third place playoff match. They lie third overall. In the URC, the Sharks pulling off back-to-back shock wins over the Stormers. The Bulls did the same to the Lions. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sports.
There's a new way to experience all your favorites. Pulse Africa, the 24/7 fast channel, now live on primemediaplus.com and the Prime Media Plus app, bringing you the best of Prime Media around the clock. Watch the biggest moments from 7:02. It's non-stop entertainment and authentic African storytelling, all from Africa's leading media network. Pulse Africa, only on the primemediaplus.com and Prime Media Plus app.
Stop and think, will you survive the AI revolution or thrive? Regenesis students are thriving. 11 cutting-edge schools, 111 countries, world-class team of 1,111 with one mission, awakening your potential. Choose from law, business, technology, AI, health, economics, entrepreneurship, public management, skills academy, and digital Regenesis. Undergraduate, postgraduate, upskilling, customized corporate programs. The question isn't, can you afford to enroll? It's, can you afford not to? Enroll now. Regenesis.net. Achieve your dreams.
Sorry I'm late, Sevi. Had to fetch my lucky putter. No worries. Let's go. We're teeing off in an hour. Great. We're taking your car.
Can't. It's already taken.
What do you mean taken? It was right here when I left a few minutes ago.
I sold it to WeBuy Cars and made a whole lot of green.
A birdie told me that's the best way to sell your car.
Not only the best way, it's the fair way. Kom ons vat die pad.
Don't be doof, be savvy. We buy cars geared for a fast sale, geared for you.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
Driver on the road or driver on the golfing green? Auto & General covers the world's best drivers. Auto & General, the official regional insurance partner of Live Golf South Africa 2026, and 702 are putting your driver knowledge to the test for your chance to win a share of 100,000 Rand. Up to the challenge? WhatsApp 072 702 1702 with the keyword Auto & General and follow the prompts. Every day this week, 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you back to play. Thanks to Auto & General on 702. TCs and more on primemediaplus.com. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hello, Uncle Clement. My name is Gabelo. I am 12 years old. I go to Albertview Primary School. And when I grow up, I'd like to become a neurosurgeon. And I'm very excited to play the Whiz Quiz with you.
Oh, I'm excited as well. Looking forward to it.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
15 minutes before 7 o'clock, and this EWN Traffic brought to you by Ford. Live at your peak in the Ford Everest. There's a crash on the N3 North. How is that causing traffic?
Oh, well, Clement, is hectic. It is in the Alexandra area, right near Marlborough Drive. Delays coming out of Linksville Road. About a 20-minute hold up there already. We spoke about this scene earlier on in the morning. If you are leaving areas like Edenville or Kempton Park, please try to avoid this scene at all costs. You can still use the R21 north into areas like the city of Tshwane as well as Tembisa. While traveling on the N3 South, unfortunately, another accident scene. We do have got wet weather conditions, so the roads are a bit slippery this morning. Please be on the lookout. This scene is on the N3 South, right near the Geldenhuys interchange. It is causing delays coming out of the Kilulis turnoff. Do budget about 20 minutes if you are traveling along the scene. And then, of course, we do have delays in the inner city areas like heading towards Parkmore. A tree has fallen across the Winnie Mandela Drive right near Republic Road. It's causing about a 20-minute holdup. And if you see anything else on the roads, please do remember to share those reports with us. We're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
There's crossing a river, and then there's crossing a river in your Ford Everest. With up to 6 selectable drive modes, it's not a challenge, It's a flex. That's peak living in the Ford Everest from only $12,099 per month with zero deposit required when financed through Ford Credit, a registered financial services and credit provider. Includes our Ford Family Promise, where you receive free 4x4 training, 6.6% interest rate, 40% residual. Visit your nearest Ford dealer today. T&Cs apply.
Let's hear from Dr. Armand, owner of Monument Dental, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
It was one call and I was covered immediately. We are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Get the advantage this tax year end with Sage. No stress, no scrambling. Just seamless HR and payroll that keeps you ahead of UIF, PAYE, and employment equity, all in one smart cloud solution. With automated compliance, real-time accuracy, and simplified HR and payroll, give your business the tax year-end advantage. That's Sage. Visit tax.sage.co.za today.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest in the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 Rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. You can do that now. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on car insurance.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Good day, Clement and the team. You know, when we're talking about dogs, I named my dog Mbuzi simply because when I got him as a puppy, as a Rottweiler, he looked like, you know, the goat calf. Looked exactly like that in terms of how it walked and all of that. So I just gave him the name Mbuzi. Unfortunately, he died because of parvovirus. But yeah, I took it. It's an African name, isn't it, Mbuzi?
Hi, good morning, Clement. So you celebrate your dog's birthday. Wow. Well, our dog does not even come into the house. You know, it looks after us and, it patrols the yard. It does not even have medical aid cover. So yours must be having medical aid as well. Absolutely amazing. I think someone mentioned is it Moteo? Soft life, Clement?
No, birthdays. You celebrate also pets' birthdays.
Yeah,
a lot of people do.
We did. And we allowed it to come into how else was it going to get familiar with us if it doesn't come into the house?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, when I grew up, that was the approach to having
a
like
dog
pets,
or a
like
pet,
dogs.
yeah.
Like when I was growing up, I've never seen a dog in the house. It was always like
outside.
for protection, quote unquote, for some. Yeah, but you grow and you learn to realize that pets are, in fact, more. You've got relationships with them, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's about companionship. So yeah, and listen, I mean, in the beginning, I used to go not on the couch. And then listeners used to say, "Oh, please, we give you 3 months," and now, like, I'm beginning to let him on the
the bedroom now. It's on top of the bed.
No.
Okay.
That's still a big no.
No.
Yeah,
All right.
and hopefully that's going to stay. And no, he's got his own bed, and he must go sleep there. It's 9 minutes now before 7 o'clock.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
All right, time for the Whiz Quiz now. 10 questions, 10,000 Rand up for grabs. And this morning we're playing with Kabelo, who is 12 years of age, goes to Alberview Primary School. How are you doing, Kabelo?
I'm doing well.
I'm good. Why do you want to be a neurosurgeon when you grow up?
I want to become a neurosurgeon because I can help people and save people's lives.
Ah, perfect. We love people who save other people's lives. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
All the best, my friend. KG, let's go. Spell the word thought.
Pardon?
Spell the word thought.
S-O-T.
Thought.
Pass.
In math, what is 11 plus 15?
27.
26. True or false? China is home to the Great Wall.
True.
Correct. In Jack and the Beanstalk, what does Jack trade for magic beans?
A cow.
Correct. Which animal has a long trunk?
An elephant.
Correct. Which province has no coastline? Northwest or Eastern Cape?
Northwest.
Correct. What is the 7th month of the year?
July.
Correct. True or false? Bees use beeswax to build honeycombs.
True.
Correct. To which part of your body do these terms refer? Braids, bangs, pony, and buns.
Pass.
Hair would have been the correct answer. Kabelo, well, the first thing I asked you to do there is to spell thought. Thought is what I was looking for, not sought. The judges are telling me you get 6 correct answers. Well done, Kabelo. Congratulations. You walk away with 600 Rand. And for your chance to play the Whiz Quiz, you can send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702. Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
All right, 7 minutes now before 7 o'clock. Now, after nearly 2 years on special leave, Judge President Selby Mbenenge is back on the bench, cleared of sexual harassment and impeachment. The Judicial Service Commission ruled that there wasn't enough evidence to prove his accuser, a court secretary Andy Somengo's claims, though it found that he acted improperly by having a flirtatious relationship with a junior employee. The decision has sparked outrage, with critics saying it sends a worrying message about power and gender and accountability in the judiciary. Let's bring in Mbegezeli Benjamin, who's a research and advocacy officer at Judges Matter. Mbegezeli, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and good morning to the listeners. Thank you.
So this ruling, it's now clearing Judge Mbenenge of sexual harassment and impeachment, but found him guilty of misconduct. What does this ruling mean in terms of judicial accountability?
Well, I think first and foremost, accountability means that a judge must be subject to the law and the processes of the law. And this is one example, that there were allegations against Judge Mbenenge. He underwent a process where he was cross-examined, the complainant was cross-examined, and the ultimate outcome was that he's not guilty of gross misconduct, but is guilty of a non-impeachable but still serious misconduct. And I should also add here, Clement, that the Judicial Service Commission has not yet made a decision. It is only the tribunal that has made a finding. The process is still underway. The Judicial Service Commission still needs to make a final decision on this, and they might very well disagree with the tribunal and still say that he is guilty of gross misconduct. It has happened in the past, and so at this point, the process is still underway.
Okay, so what the next process that follows then is that the report gets submitted to the Judicial Services Commission for that final decision.
Yes, so the JSC, that is the Judicial Service Commission, sitting without the members of Parliament.
Yeah.
So it will only be the judges and the lawyers who will consider the tribunal report, the statements from the judge and the complainant, and then they will make the final decision on the guilt or otherwise of the judge.
Okay, there's been a lot of debate about, what this, sort of demonstrates around the clear power imbalances between a judge, president, and a junior staff member. From your perspective as Judges Matter, what is most troubling aspect of this ruling, and what do you think are its wider implications, especially for public confidence in the judiciary?
Well, look, I think we're still analyzing the decision and haven't really settled on final outcomes or final implications of the decision. But what we do know is that there was a discussion in the tribunal report about the power dynamics between the complainant and the judge, and they made statements to the effect that those power imbalances did not really factor in this because it seemed as if both parties were active participants. But what is significant, I think, is that the tribunal didn't completely exonerate the judge. They still found him guilty of misconduct. It's not gross misconduct which may lead to impeachment, but it is misconduct that might lead to a fine. And we've seen in past cases, the JSC has imposed a fine of up to R1 million on a judge. And so it is still a serious finding that the judge has been found guilty of. And so that, I think, is something, there's something to be said about that. It is significant.
Okay. So does this effectively clears Judge Mbenenge to return to work? Because as you've just clarified, it's more the tribunal that has ruled to this effect, and the Judicial Services Committee still needs to confirm that. So what is his status, like his work status now then?
Well, look, Clement, in 2024, when the JSC was considering suspending Judge Mbenenge, he gave an assurance that he will take special leave until this process is complete. And he became the first judge not to be suspended when he was facing a tribunal, and it was based on that assurance. And so the process is still underway, so it would be premature for him to return to work when he gave an assurance that he will wait until the process is complete. And like I said, the JSC still needs to take a final decision. The tribunal at this stage has only made a finding based on an investigation. The ultimate decision is with the JSC.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much for making time for us. Mbegezeli Benjamin is a research and advocacy officer at Judges Matter. And thank you so much for that clarification around where the process is. So it's not so much that the Judicial Services Committee has found him guilty. That's still a process to follow. So what we're looking at now is the tribunal that has now found him guilty. The Judicial Services Commission is still yet to rule on the matter. So they have to look at what the tribunal has found. And as Mbegezeli says, there has been instances in the past where the Judicial Services Commission sort of comes and overrules or disagrees with the ruling of the tribunal. So let's wait and see how that is going to unfold and what that will mean for Judge Mbenenge in as far as his work status is concerned.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
So coming up after the news at 7 o'clock, we speak to Crispin Piri, who is the spokesperson for DERCO, about that decision to declare Israeli chargé d'affaires Ariel Sidman persona non grata and asking him to leave South Africa following alleged violations of the country's sovereignty. I will discuss what this means, especially for the relations not only between South Africa and Israel, but between South Africa and the United States. It's 7 o'clock. And time for the news, and this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand.
This is EWN.
The KZN Hawks boss goes underground after a public spat with police and possible budget cuts for underspending municipalities in Gauteng. Good morning, I'm Maki Malapo. The head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal has reportedly gone into hiding. Leseja Senona was accused of breaking security protocol yesterday after he entered the police headquarters in the province on a weekend. Senona claims that he was kicked out of his office on the instructions of Provincial Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Last week, Senona faced the Madlanga Commission, where he was grilled about his relationship with alleged criminal cartel member Vusmusi Ket Madlala. Senona claims he now fears for his safety after being followed home by police vehicles. KwaZulu-Natal Police spokesperson Robert Nechunda.
The unusual events of Major Sinuna coming to work on Saturday, the parking of his vehicle on the street and not at his parking bay inside the building, the unusual in the car meeting on the street with a kennel, and the failure to sign the mandatory register raise security concerns.
Gauteng municipalities are lagging behind on budget spending, putting essential service delivery and infrastructure projects at risk. 6 months into the financial year, most municipalities have spent far less than planned, with only the Rand West municipality showing progress. Finance MEC Lebogang Maile says grants for electrification and infrastructure are on track, but critical funding for urban development, public transport and water projects is underperforming. Maile told reporters yesterday that despite the poor state of many municipal roads, only 40% of allocated grants have been spent. He warned that some municipalities could face budget cuts due to inability to spend the allocated funds.
Public transport network grant and
is one of the largest capital grants received by metros, yet it is one of the worst performing grants. All the recipients of this grant are not performing well, as no municipality managed to spend above 40%. There is high possibility that the allocation will be reduced as per requirements of Division of Revenue, Section 17 and 18.
Advocate Endi Mutibi may be served with court papers on his first day as the National Director of Public Prosecutions. This comes as his appointment is challenged by Cape Town-based law firm Bikulu and Partners. They argue the advisory panel used in the selection of candidates was unconstitutional. Mutibi was not interviewed for the position, and none of the 7 candidates who went through the process was made the cut. He takes office amid renewed calls for a reform of the criminal justice system. He says he's ready.
I do feel prepared. I think that's what I can say. Prosecutions Authority executives and management, and of course the wider management. The engagements will commence on the 2nd of February because I will be at the office on the 2nd. I feel prepared to start the new role.
And National Treasury is in the process of fast-tracking a new bill that will grant the Financial Intelligence Centre powers to conduct lifestyle audits on South African citizens. The General Laws Amendment Bill of 2025 will authorise the FIC to conduct lifestyle audits, not just in response to suspicious transactions, but as a proactive measure. SARS already has these powers and frequently uses them to ascertain whether the standard of living matches your declared income. According to MoneyWeb, the bill also requires banks and other financial institutions to keep records for 7 years instead of the current 5. If passed in its current form, the FIC would have the power to initiate lifestyle audits at the request of an organ of state, a public entity or municipality, provided it reasonably believes that the entity has an interest in the information. The FIC would have the power to access any database held by a municipality or public entity. The bill was gazetted last month for public comment. Gold trading at $4,686.17 an ounce. The rand's at 16.22 to the dollar, at 22.20 to the pound, at 19.25 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $66.29 a barrel.
Traffic is heavily backed up in Benoni along the N12 West. This is between Patfontein Road and Snake Road. This is about a 30-minute hold up there. If you're heading towards areas like Germiston as well as Edenville, please try to use the R21 instead. And then traveling on the N3, bumper-to-bumper traffic on both sides of the road. This is between the Kilulis interchange and Linksfield Road. That's due to a major accident seen on the N3 North.
And in your sport, Spurs held Manchester City. Man United beat Fulham while Villa lost to Brentford. In the CAF Confed Cup, Kaizer Chiefs up to second in Group D after beating Zesco 1-0. And in netball, the Spar Proteas beat England by 15 points to win the third test, taking the series 2-1.
A look at your weather. It's a partly cloudy Monday ahead for Gauteng today, with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Joburg is starting at lows of 14 degrees, peaking at highs of 28. Pretoria is at 16 and 30. Vereeniging's at 15 and 31 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour: the head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal has reportedly gone into hiding.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
February may be a shorter month, but without insurance, your car insurance savings could go the distance. Like 35-year-old Zanai, who saves a whopping 1,180 Rand on her 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA. Get a quote now, and if OutSurance can't save you money, ask them for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you have been claim-free when with the same insurer for 3 years. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. OutSurance, licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Calling all the brightest minds in Gauteng. Time to flex your general knowledge smarts in the brain of 702. Enter now on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
7 minutes after 7 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of 702 Breakfast. Clement Manyatela here in for Bongani Bingwa this morning. Thank you so much for staying with us here on 702. What's going on between the KZN Provincial Commissioner and the KZN Hawks boss? Eyewitness News is now reporting that Lesetja Sinona, the KZN Hawks head, has now gone into hiding. Remember, this is the man that was accused of breaking security protocol yesterday after he entered the police headquarters in the province over the weekend. Sinona claims that he was kicked out of his office on the instructions of the Provincial Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Sinona, by the way, is that man that faced the Madlanga Commission last week and was really struggling to answer many of the questions. He was grilled about his relationship with this alleged criminal cartel member, Vusmuzi Ket Matlala. And now he faces fears, apparently, for his safety after being followed home by police vehicles. They always say that, hey? Then they want to talk about how, I fear for my life, but you're not addressing what actually transpired over the weekend. So the Sowetan is reporting that Sinona apparently arrived at this police building and chose to park in the street parking opposite the building and not at his dedicated and designated parking inside the building. Moments later, he was joined by another colonel. This is at this building outside the offices. And this colonel is from the Hawks in KZN. And the colonel left his vehicle and joined Sinona in his vehicle for approximately 45 minutes. And then later on, Sinona and the secretary entered the building through the main entrance. And now here is where the problem arises, because they are accusing Sinona of breaching security protocol by going into his office without signing the register at the entrance. Apparently his secretary is the only one who signed for herself and the other colonel who entered the building, but Sinona himself failed to sign that register. And they're saying this is an unusual event for Sinona to come to work on a Saturday and then park outside the street and not at his usual parking bay, and then meet people out in the streets who are his colleagues and not even register when he comes into the building. And apparently Sinona chose to leave the office and wanted to take a state computer with him and other documents with him. So his lawyers are quite concerned and saying this man has not been served with any letter of suspension, and therefore why is he being treated like this? But the police in KZN are saying, well, you're acting weird and already we're suspicious of you because what has been revealed at the Madlanga Commission. You parking outside the building, you meeting people there, and then you come into the office, you don't register and sign in, and you want to leave with a state computer? What are your thoughts on what's happening in KwaZulu-Natal? It's 10 minutes after 7 o'clock.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
All right, a number of things you need to know about this morning. The incoming head of the NPA, Advocate Andy Mutibi, he says he's ready to step into this role as the National Director of Public Prosecutions, despite, of course, this controversy surrounding his appointment. None of the 7 interviewed candidates, remember, were selected, and Mutibi himself was not part of the formal interview process. So he takes office at the time when calls for criminal justice reform are growing, and he says that he will set his priorities after engaging with the NPA executives and management. And I've been asking you this morning, if you had one piece of advice for Advocate Mutibi, what would it be? What would be that piece of advice or motivation for the new head of the NPA as he steps into this high pressure role? Because, my goodness, it's almost like a poisoned chalice, isn't it? But we need the NPA to work. And for it to work, you need an effective leader at the helm. And this is the man now that's going to be heading the NPA. We need him to do well. So what will help him do well? You can share your thoughts with us on 072-702-1702. Tributes continue to pour in for Catherine O'Hara, the Canadian-born comic legend who brought laughter to the world as Kevin's mother in Home Alone. And of course, the unforgettable Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. She has died at the age of 72. Her manager confirming her passing on Friday. Reports say she was rushed to hospital before dawn from her home in Brentwood in LA. Newly released U.S. Justice Department documents show that the former president, Jacob Zuma, attended a private dinner organized by Jeffrey Epstein in London during his official state visit to the UK back in March 2010. The emails reveal the dinner actually took place at the Ritz Hotel on March 5, Zuma's final day in London, after a program that included events at Buckingham Palace and meetings with the Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, and senior British officials at the time. The Jacob Zuma Foundation has dismissed the disclosures as guilt by association, while analysts are saying the revelations, this revelation is diplomatically awkward but unlikely to have serious consequences for the former president. South Africa is stepping into the spotlight, taking over from Morocco as the host of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, with just 60 days to go before kick-off. And singer, songwriter, producer, performer Isabel Mebarek Ripoll, better known as Shakira, was born on this day in 1977.
Yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it all, believe it. When you fall, get up, oh, and if you fall, get up, Samina, sangalewa, cause this is Africa. Samina, waka waka, this time for Africa.
Must say, I always feel weird singing the lyrics, like the chorus of the song, like waka waka because of what happened. Remember, she borrowed / stolen this from the Zangalewa. It's a 1986 song by some Cameroonian band. Golden Sounds is what they're called. And it's crazy because when you listen to the original version, the main song, does it not sound exactly like this?
It does, and it doesn't take anything away from actually paying tribute or, saying this song is originally from. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
And this is not even an inspiration. You know, artists will say, I was inspired. This is not inspiration. This is like stealing. Anyway, there was a out-of-court settlement later that gave Golden Sounds proper songwriting recognition and a share of the royalties. Listen, if it were up to me, they would get the entire royalties and not just a share, because what is this?
7:02. Up next,
the big interview.
15 minutes after 7 o'clock, and this EWN traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, I see there are lots of delays in Tshwane. What's going on?
Yeah, Clement, we've got an earlier accident reported on the N1 South right near the Flying Saucer interchange. It is causing delays as we speak, coming out of the Proof Plus turnoff. In fact, routes around the Proof Plus interchange are heavily backed up. This is just as you come out of Sefako Makhato on the N1 South towards the Proof Plus interchange, as well as on the N4 West towards the Proof Plus. So if you're traveling around the Proof Plus interchange this morning, please know that you will spend a bit of time on the routes. And then if you're heading towards the CBD via the R80 southbound, we've got delays between Rosslyn all the way towards Eskom Patlele exit. This is due to peak time delays this morning. I'll have more traffic updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
February may be the month of love, but your boss won't be feeling the love if you're late for work. Fortunately, the Outsurance pointsmen are here to ease the traffic congestion, so you can get to the office on time with the Outsurance pointsmen on the road. For the past 20 years, we can all get where we need to be quickly and safely. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, show them some love online using Hashtag pointsmenlove. Licensed insurer and FSP.
At Checkers, 2026 is better with over 1,500 deals. Like Clover Butter Full Cream Modified Butter Spread, 500 grams for $79.99, save 20 Rand. Nestle Mini Chocolate Fun Bags, any 2 for 89 Rand, save 45 Rand. And Finish Dishwasher Tablets, 45, 50 or 56 per pack for $229.99, save 55 Rand. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
A new year brings new goals and new adventures. Make sure you have the right car to get you there. Whether you want to buy, sell, or trade in your current ride for something that suits your year ahead, We Buy Cars can make it happen. If you're selling or trading in, simply complete the Sell My Car form on webuycars.co.za to get the best offer for your vehicle. We Buy Cars can come to you to evaluate your vehicle, or you can take the vehicle to your nearest We Buy Cars branch or pod. With over 100 pods and branches nationwide and hundreds of We Buy Cars on the road, We Buy Cars is always a click, call, or visit away. Looking for your new vehicle match? Browse over 12,000 vehicles on webuycars.co.za. They also have a wide selection of vehicle insurance, warranties, and more, all conveniently available under one roof. Ready to buy or sell? Visit We Buy Cars today. We Buy Cars, the best way by far.
So you thought you were building a business in this economy, but day by day, somehow it grew. You kept going when the freezer didn't freeze, the bucket didn't budge, and the bank balance barely blinked. So you thought you were building a business. You weren't. It was building you. Because this isn't just what you do anymore, it's who you are, and you don't trust just anybody to protect it. Chat to your broker about Old Mutual Insure Business Insurance. Protect what built you. Old Mutual Insure Limited is a licensed FSP and non-life insurer.
702.
The Big Interview.
19 minutes after 7 o'clock. So disrespect our sovereignty and you're out. South Africa has shown the door to Israel's top diplomat, Ariel Seidman, saying the move follows repeated breaches of diplomatic rules and conduct that crossed a red line. Israel has hit back by expelling South Africa's senior diplomat, rejecting the accusations as fault and setting the stage for a diplomatic standoff that could strain relations, not only between Pretoria and Tel Aviv. Let's bring in Crispin Piri now, who speaks on behalf of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. Crispin, thanks for making time. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
So your decision, you've said in your statement that it follows a series of unacceptable violations. Could you specify which actions are these in particular?
You may have seen on X, Clement, that there are a number of tweets that were put out by the Israeli embassy, starting from at the point at which we had South Africans captured in Israel, having been there on the Gaza flotilla. And we noted that some of the tweets that were put out by the embassy then were highly problematic. And at the time, we then engaged the Israeli embassy around how firstly we can assist to get our South Africans out, but also did point out that we would prefer that the language that they use, at least in public platforms, remains respectful. Then you saw the tweet around the president's engagements at the G20, where the president had said something about boycott politics, and we saw that tweet from the Israeli, is it still called a tweet? Well, let's call it a tweet on the X platform that came from the Israeli embassy. Then what we've also seen was a number of senior officials from the Israeli embassy entering the country and purporting to be on official visits without the Department of International Relations being formed. So cumulatively, all of these things have brought us to where we are now. And I must say, we have not reached this decision unilaterally. At every moment in time, we did inform the Israeli embassy that this conduct is undesirable, and we would prefer that they engage in a manner that is within diplomatic norms and practices.
So basically a formal warning was issued before this man was declared persona non grata?
Several, not even just one, several. There were 2 engagements around this at least.
Okay.
That really highlighted our disconcertation with this type of conduct.
Okay, what is the established protocol that the host country, must the host country, for instance, be notified in advance of visits by foreign officials? Because in this case, we've got these senior officials from Israel who visited these hospitals in the Eastern Cape, and my understanding is that even like offered donations facilitated by the King of Abatembu Nation.
Yes, so the starting point, Clement, is the Foreign Services Act of South Africa. That's very clear on how we conduct foreign relations in this country. Government, the Department of International Relations, would then facilitate any other engagement at other levels of government, albeit provincial, local government, or engagements with other national departments. It is DIRCO that facilitates that engagement with a foreign country. So you are then required to inform DIRCO if you intend to have such an official engagement at any level of government, because we also then have bilateral relations with countries and bilateral treaties. And so most of the cooperation that we would engage in with any country is governed within a particular framework with each country. So that is why any embassy in South Africa that engages or that requires an official visit of a senior official from their capital would be required to inform DIRCO so that we can implement what we call a bilateral arrangement, or if we have a multilateral agreement that applies in that context, we're able to domesticate whatever legal framework is required.
Okay, so following Israel's reciprocal decision then to expel South Africa's senior diplomat, what channels, if any, remain open to de-escalate tensions between the two countries?
Well, we are assessing how this will affect how we service the state of Palestine. As you may know, currently the West Bank is occupied by the state of Israel. So it's not possible to enter Palestine without going through Israel. So this does affect how we would, our current ambassador there would fulfill his duties. But we will continue to see how we can facilitate a new ambassador if we need to Palestine. And we would then also expect that if Israel are interested in correcting the conduct of Mr. Seidman, they would then also be facilitating a new charge d'affaires to South Africa.
Okay, so my understanding is that, and I'm asking this based on the criticism that's come from some of the members of the GNU, like the Democratic Alliance, declaring a foreign diplomat persona non grata is among the most serious tools in a state's diplomatic repertoire. So it's typically reserved for espionage, security threats, or grave breaches of international law. But the DA is suggesting here that this is more political disagreements that have resulted in you taking up this decision. And this decision doesn't necessarily meet what is expected before you can declare someone persona non grata. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, unfortunately, the DA's reading of the Article 9 of the Vienna Convention probably leaves very much to be desired, because it doesn't require any explanation actually for someone to be declared persona non grata. So the DA are clearly engaged in political propaganda. I would say that no self-respecting state, no serious state would tolerate what the Israeli embassy had conducted, what they had gotten up to, and we cannot tolerate at any point our president being insulted. In fact, I'm sure the DA know very well there are countries where ambassadors have done far less and have been deemed persona non grata. So this is not at all how they seek to frame it. In fact, we really have strong grounds in this regard.
And are you concerned at all about the impact this may have on your relations with the U.S.? They've got nothing to do with this, but you had Israel's feelings or Benjamin Netanyahu's feelings. That extends to America in some way.
No, I think we are looking at this at a bilateral level, and we are going to engage with countries at a bilateral level to preserve our interests and our values as a country. And that's how we engage in international diplomacy. We don't look at our relations through a lens of another country. So when we engage with the U.S., for example, we don't engage with the U.S. with a view of what other countries say. We engage because there's a particular interest at stake, or we are pursuing a particular value. And that's what we will continue to do. So bilateral relations are exactly that, bilateral relations. They are not proxy relations for other countries.
Are there still diplomatic channels, though, that remain open to prevent further deterioration in relations between the two countries?
Yes, we will continue to engage diplomatically where the need arises. The diplomatic channels remain. There will always be a route to engage each other's capitals as the need arises.
Okay. Crispin Piri, speaks on behalf of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation.
EWN Business.
27 minutes after 7 o'clock. Muteo Kharipa is here with your business news. Muteo, what are you looking at?
Looking at that gold plunge that we saw on Friday, continuing this morning, Clement, gold and silver extending their sell-off this Monday morning, deepening losses from last Friday's rout as a firmer dollar and profit-taking drains momentum from commodities. Spot gold lost around 5% at $4,611 per ounce, having crashed nearly 10% on Friday. Silver, which had also surged alongside gold on safe haven demand and speculative inflows, also remained under pressure after last Friday's 30% nosedive on Friday. Basically, commodity shares have been doing quite well, but on Friday taking a nosedive as most traders took profits. Then back home on the market, Famous Brands has approved a general share repurchase program of up to 5% of its issued ordinary share capital. The company has cited confidence in its cash position and concerns that the group's share price does not reflect its underlying value. Companies buy back their own shares, primarily to return cash to shareholders, boost the stock price by reducing supply, and signal confidence in undervalued stocks. Now, the owners of Steers, Debonair's, and Wimpy say the program is expected to run until the 31st of May 2026. The company's shares were up 5% on Friday at 58 Rand per share. Talking about shares, the JSE on Friday taking another nosedive as well, down 4%. Industrials were weaker by 0.5%. Banking stocks also in the red, but it was the mining shares that did most of the damage. They were down 10%. Platinum Group, Valterra, was down 14%. Anglo Gold down 12.8%. DRD Gold was down 10%, with Pan-African Resources down 9.2%. Some winners, though. AB InBev, the beverage makers, up 2.7%. Mr. Price also enjoying gains of 2%, with British American Tobacco up more than 0.5% on Friday. Rand at this hour down 0.5% at 16 Rand 22 cents against the US dollar, 19 Rand 25 cents against the euro, and at 22 Rand 20 cents against the British pound. Price of gold, $4,674 an ounce, continues to drop this morning, with platinum now at $2,053 an ounce. Brent crude at $66.13 a barrel. I'll have more business for you after 8.
7:30, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Maki, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Judges Matter says the Judicial Conduct Tribunal's report clearing Eastern Cape Judge President Mbenenge of sexual harassment allegations is not the end of the road. Mbenenge has been on special leave since early 2024 following allegations that he sexually harassed a junior secretary at the court, Andiswa Mengo. The Judicial Conduct Tribunal had probed Mengo's allegations that the senior judge had sent her inappropriate and explicit WhatsApp messages between 2021 and 2022. The tribunal released its report finding the judge president only guilty of a degree of misconduct and not gross misconduct as well as sexual harassment. It found that he acted improperly by having a flirtatious relationship with a junior employee. The tribunal says after careful analysis of her allegations, Mengo's credibility was severely compromised because she had clearly lied about some issues. The Judicial Services Commission is set to consider whether to endorse or reject the tribunal's report. Research and Advocacy Officer at Judges Matter, Mbekezeli Benjamin.
So the JSC, that is the Judicial Service Commission, sitting without the members of Parliament. So it will only be the judges and the lawyers who will consider the tribunal report, the statements from the judge and the complainant, and then they will make the final decision on the guilt or otherwise of the judge.
EFF leader Julius Malema says the upcoming local government elections are a do or die for the party. After a poor showing at the 2024 national and provincial polls, the EFF is looking to recover lost ground. South Africa is expected to witness what is likely to be the most fiercely contested municipal election in democratic history between November this year and January next year. Delivering the closing remarks at the party's plenum at the Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg, Malema stressed the EFF cannot afford a weak performance this time around. Alpha Ramushana was there.
Victory or death. Those are the words that Julius Malema used to describe what the upcoming local government elections mean to the EFF. Lazy party members and ineffective councillors in municipal councils are what Malema says the EFF will not tolerate ahead of this election. He says if the party doesn't take the upcoming municipal polls seriously, it could signal the end of the Red Berets.
We have to accept that this year we have to do well or die. There comes a point in your life where you say, I have to survive or I'm going to die.
Malema adds that the EFF has reached a stage where it no longer feels compelled to form coalitions with the ANC in order to participate in municipal government. He adds that the EFF will no longer back the election of ANC mayors unless the ANC agrees to accept an EFF candidate. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Boksburg.
And Sandparks has reopened one bush camp in the northern region of the Kruger National Park while several other camps remain closed. Last month, the park suffered severe flooding after a week of inclement weather swept away several roads and bridges. Access remains restricted after more than 700 million rand in damages was caused. Camry Clark has more.
The Palaborwa Gate at the Kruger National Park has been opened to visitors. Park officials have advised visitors to bring their own food supplies as the Mapani restaurant remains closed. Visitors also cautioned that travel will be restricted, with access only as far as the Satara rest camp. All rest camps remain closed except for the camps located north of Batalia. The Pafuri Gate is open, however the Pafuri border post remains closed. In the south of the park, progress is being made with both the Sabi River Bridge and the Sand River Bridge now accessible. Camry Clark, Eyewitness News.
A look at your weather. Partly cloudy skies in store for Gauteng today with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures are starting at lows between 14 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 28 and 31 degrees.
And in the traffic, we still have got heavy traffic volumes along the N1 South. This is in the city of Tshwane between the Proof Plus interchange and the Flying Saucer turn off. There's also bumper-to-bumper traffic reported in Alberton along the R59 North. This is between Klipprivier Drive and Swartkopies Road.
The top story in Eyewitness News. Judges Matter says the Judicial Conduct Tribunal report clearing Eastern Cape Judge President Mbenenge of sexual harassment allegations is not the end of the road.
This message is brought to you by Eskom, redefining for a better future.
Are you running a business? Every rand counts. Save electricity and cut costs by switching off lights, computers and aircons after hours. Use energy-efficient lighting and equipment and make saving electricity part of your daily routine. Smart energy habits mean lower bills and greener business future. Let's power success efficiently.
Let's use electricity wisely. Eskom.
The Cape Town Cycle Tour returns on Sunday, the 8th of March, inviting riders to be part of one of the world's most iconic cycling events. Choose between the classic 109-kilometer route or the 42-kilometer option, both offering unforgettable scenery along the way. And in 2026, the tour gains UCI Grand Fondo World Series status with the opportunity to qualify for the World Championships. Enter now at capetowncycletour.com.
The stage, the lights, the crowd, everything's perfect until suddenly someone slips on the dance floor. A speaker lands in the buffet. In an instant, your masterpiece is a mess. That's why Auto & General is there with Events Liability Insurance. We handle the unexpected so you don't have to. Plan the party, wow the guests, leave the rest to us. For more information on Events Liability Insurance, visit autogen.co.za. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, Clement. On the issue of the ambassador of Israel, I think it was well overdue because we cannot expect South Africa to comply with every foreign international law while others are trembling on our own. It was well overdue. They knew what was coming. Remember when Rasul made a comment about Trump and then he was persona non grata. So it was well overdue and it's spot on.
Morning, Clement. Guy and Craig Hall. Just curious listening to that conversation from Durko with the representative Crispin. I mean, the world has become so globalized and so interconnected. To think that you can engage with one country on a bilateral manner and completely ignore the impact that might have on another country where essentially, they potentially have different value sets, I just think is unbelievably naive. and no doubt a reason why Durko just seems to keep landing us in hot water all the time.
Yeah, but what did you expect DECO to do? So if there is an official of a country here in South Africa that we are hosting who goes on and makes like statements against our president and attacks our president on social media, what do you think is the responsibility of DERCO? So what, be scared to act against that person because, oh my God, it's going to hit Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and by extension Donald Trump, the US president? Really? So allow our president to be attacked by a foreign diplomat and not act because we are scared of hitting the Prime Minister of Israel and by extension the president of the US? That doesn't make sense to me, unless we're not a sovereign state.
Good morning, Clement. Pat here from Spayview. My advice to the advocate, I think he must just be a copycat of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Do his best. Do things without fear nor favor. Then the public will be behind him.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, just do your job. Advocate Andy Mutibi, starting today as the head of the NPA following the retirement of Shamila Batoyi. Her last day was on Friday last week.
702.
What's the question?
22 minutes before 8 o'clock. What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Kofi, who is calling us from Pretoria. Kofi, good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
Please give us today's answer.
Today's answer is Shakira.
Okay, so Shakira is today's answer. And have you recently requested a quote from Outsurance, Kofi?
Yes, I have.
Well, guess what? Congratulations. You've won yourself 1,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Now, Kofi has given us an answer, and that is Shakira. So if the answer is Shakira and you know what's the question, you can be the 7th caller right now on 011-883-0702. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, all about netball this morning. How did the Proteas play yesterday?
Yes, Spa Proteas were absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, they won quite easily on Thursday. Well, not easily, by about 4-5. And then on Saturday, they got walked over. And then so you were a bit worried about yesterday. And they came back and they won by 15. And it's absolutely phenomenal because they were playing against England. England are number 4 in the world and quite a few league points ahead of us in terms of being number 4. The Spa Proteas at Ellis Park Arena yesterday, beating them 65-50. So it was a really comfortable win. And with that, they take the series. Here's Coach Jenny van Dijk.
I think, they did a formidable job, especially on the defense. But I'm just the attack, and within the circles of our attack, we were clinical, they were disciplined, and full of confidence. Definitely, it just shows the progress that we have made. We've put out so many new players, and all of them are performing at such a great level. We know we still have a lot of work to do before the Commonwealth Games, but yeah, we are quite happy with what they delivered.
In the Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur tripping Manchester City in the race for the league title. Solanke scoring twice to bring Spurs from 2 down to 2-2 draw. City stays 6 points behind leaders Arsenal. Aston Villa missing the chance to go second. They lost to a 10-man Brentford 1-0. Man United rescued by Šeško in the 94th minute for a 3-2 win over Fulham. It's United interim boss Michael Carrick's 3rd win from 3. And Nottingham Forest finished 1-0 with Crystal Palace. In the local premierships, Gekone beat Galaxy 1-0. Krobler, who scored, was later sent off with Madonna as they got into a fight. On the CAF Confed Cup, Kaizer Chiefs beating Zesco 1-0 to go second in Group D. Stellenbosch lost 3-0 to Belouizdad. Carlos Alcaraz completed a career Grand Slam, winning the Australian Open title, the youngest male to get a career Grand Slam. The women's title was won by Elena Rybakina. Great result for South African Conor Doig, the former St. Stithians pupil, and with his doubles partner Dimitar Kisimov winning the junior boys title. In Singapore Sevens Rugby, Blitzboks finishing 4th. They lost to New Zealand 14-12 in the 3rd place playoff. They lie 3rd overall. In the URC, the Sharks and Bulls pulled off shock back-to-back wins over the Stormers and Lions. Stormers have dropped to 3rd. On the table, the Bulls are up to 7th, the Sharks are up to 9th, the Lions have dropped to 10th. And in cricket, the T20 World Cup starts this Saturday. Pakistan confirming they will compete but won't play their scheduled match against co-hosts India on February the 15th. Pakistan had initially not wanted to compete over security concerns. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
18 minutes before 8 o'clock. Amu, how are we looking on the roads?
Well, Clement, we do have delays in the south of Joburg along the N12 as well as the N1 north through Devlin area towards the Deep Creek interchange, of bumper-to-bumper traffic there, as well as on the R59 north in the Amerisa as well as Alberton area. This is between Klipprivier Drive and Swashkopies Road. While traveling in the east of Joburg, things are really hectic in that side of town. We've got heavy traffic volumes along the N12, R24 west between the R21 turnoff and the Kilulu's interchange. And then, of course, traveling on the N3 south, delays between Modderfontein Road and the Geldenhuys interchange, and that's due to an earlier accident. But there's also delays in the west of Gauteng. We do have a voice note report from Slindile in Krugersdorp.
Good morning, Amo. On the R28 in Krugersdorp, a road called New Road, coming from Randfontein, Kagiso, coming from the directions of Soweto, going to Krugersdorp town, facing the N14. There's an accident there, a lot of traffic there. I think the car has fallen into the side. So there's a lot of ambulances and police closing the road. So there's a lot of traffic there. People must be careful. Thank you.
Thanks for that report. And if you do come across anything else as well, you're more than welcome to send us your reports. We're on WhatsApp as well as on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Get your brain in the game, because the brain of 702 is back with your chance to flex your general knowledge smarts. There's 30,000 Rand up for grabs every day, and Brain of the Week wins 10,000 Rand, plus a spot in the finals to compete for the grand prize of 30,000 Rand cash. Enter on primemediaplus.com now, then catch 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa and 702 Drive with John Pellman for your chance to be the brain of 702. T's and C's and more on primemediaplus.com.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
702.
What's the question?
All right, time for What's the Question. Remember earlier today we got a call from Kofi who gave us today's answer. So I need today's question, and the 7th caller is Busisiwe all the way from Randburg. How are you doing, Busisiwe?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So if Shakira is the answer for 2,000 Rand in cash, thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question.
The question is, what's the name of the hit maker, Waka Waka, who's born today, 1977?
Okay, well, that's the one. Congratulations, Busisiwe. You have won 2,000 Rand in cash thanks to Outsurance and 702. It is Shakira's birthday today. She was born on this day in 1977.
Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection.
Hey, girl, I can see your body.
respect it the way you right and left it. So you could keep on shaking it. Never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Shakira, Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Come on, let's go real slow. Don't you see, baby, I see it's perfect. Babe, I know I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby? Follow. I can't remember to forget you. I keep forgetting I should let you go. But when you look at me, the only memory is us kissing in the moonlight. I can't remember to forget you.
Your paycheck on high car insurance premiums when you could be saving with Outsurance. So how much does 35-year-old Zanai save?
A whopping 1,180 Rand.
That's an incredible 1,180 Rand monthly saving on Zanai's 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA. Get a quote now and see how much Outsurance could save you. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142.
With Outsurance, I'm saving a whole 729 Rand.
729 Rand is a sweet saving on 32-year-old Parushka's 2020 Haval H2. And after 3 claim-free years, you get an out bonus.
Yes, I'm ready for that out bonus.
You also get benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and loads more. Get a quote now and see how much money Outsurance could save you. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
The Checkers Hyper Price Drop is here. Save up to 40% on deals like Coca-Cola Assorted Soft Drinks 300ml 24-pack bottles for 159 Rand each. Cadbury Assorted Mini Chocolate Bags, any 5 for 199 Rand. Save 41 Rand. And Finish Dishwashing Tablets, 30s plus 14s Value Pack, buy 2 for 299 Rand. Save 61 Rand. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers Hyper.
Don't blow your paycheck on high car insurance premiums when you could be saving with Outsurance. So how much does 35-year-old Zanai save?
A whopping 1,180 Rand.
That's an incredible 1,180 Rand monthly saving on Zanai's 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA. Get a quote now and see how much Outsurance could save you. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142.
With Outsurance, I'm saving a whole 729 Rand.
729 Rand is a sweet saving on 32-year-old Parushka's 2020 Haval H2. And after 3 claim-free years, you get an out bonus.
Yes, I'm ready for that out bonus.
You also get benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and loads more. Get a quote now and see how much money Outsurance could save you. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
9 minutes before 8 o'clock. Kabazela, good morning.
Good morning to you, Clem. You well?
I'm okay, man. I saw this video of these two people who appear to be trying to get closer to our Tambo, and they're just floods. So if you've missed a flight, you know, what could have been the reason? It looks like these people didn't want to miss their flight.
I mean, if you think about it, what lengths would you go to if you were late for your flight and you needed to get there? Would you walk through flooded water, muddy water like these two people? It was quite interesting to watch. I mean, so it's very close to the airport. You can even see on the overhead signposts, it says parkades and all that kind of thing. So they're not far from the airport, but this particular stretch of road just before entering Tambo was completely flooded. And early hours of Saturday morning, there was a heck of a storm across 702 land, and especially in the East Rand, and that's why there was floods in some of those roads. And a lot of cars that stopped didn't even attempt to go through the flooded road. But two people decided, no, we can't miss these flights. We have to go. So they got their cases, and there they go. They're marching through this flooded, muddy waters, and the water's pretty high. I mean, it's up to their waist. And they got their suitcases, and they're trying to keep the suitcases as best as they can above the water. But I mean, I don't know if they managed to reach the destination and got there, because once you're there, then you are completely wet.
Are you even allowed into that flight?
Yeah, well, at least they got change of clothes in their bag, I suppose. But it was just really, really interesting to watch, as they just couldn't miss the flights. And it got me thinking about, missing flights. It happens, you wake up late, or you misjudge the time, or whatever it may be, traffic, etc., etc. So I wanted to put it out to our 702 family this morning. When you've missed a flight, what was the reason that you missed a flight? And maybe you've missed a few in your years. But if you can think back to one of those memories of, I missed the flight because ... What was the reason that you ended up missing your flight?
Okay, so give us a call on 011-883-0702, or you can send your WhatsApps to respond to Kabazela's question on 072-702-1702. And then, what do present moms actually prefer on their birthdays? This video was quite interesting.
So nothing much to look at in terms of what it is, but the question and the comment that the guy posted relates to so many people. So if you think about it, when it's your mom's birthday, or it's a special day like Mother's Day, and you think, I'd love to get her something special. Maybe I should ask her what she needs. And you go and you say, Mom, what would you like for your birthday? Or what can I get you for Mother's Day? What is the answer that she often will give you? It's never a gift. Like, it hardly ever says, I want this or want that. It's always, my boy, I just want you to be happy, Or it's like, maybe can you give me grandchildren? That's what I would really love. So it's like really special answers that people ask. So this guy posted the question, and his answer was, when I'm trying to ask my mom what she wants as a gift, and she always says, I just want my kids to be happy. Okay, well, that's a lot to ask for, Cindy. Can we just get you an air fryer instead?
Please.
Please. And so many people, like another answer here is, for you and your brothers, just to get along. That's all I ask for. So I just love that about mothers. I think they're the only ones when you really ask them what they want. They never want something, tangible. It's always something special. So when you go to your mom and you ask her about gifts and you say, what can I get you? What is the most common answer that she often gives you?
Yeah. 072-702-1702. What is your mother's favorite reply when you ask her, what can I get you a gift on your birthday? Send a WhatsApp or give us a call.
702. Feedback with Baphelile Sambo.
Yeah, thank you so much to Kabazela, and good morning to Baphelile. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
Good. What feedback do you have for us?
Clement, following the massive downpour we experienced in the early hours of the morning, reports came in of a large tree that had fallen, something I also witnessed myself while commuting to work this morning, there by Winnie Mandela Drive. We did reach out to Johannesburg Metro Police Department spokesperson Xolani Fihla, who has since taken note of the incident. He confirmed that arrangements are being made to have the tree removed as soon as possible. And on a lighter note, as we marked Shakira's birthday, the conversation around her hit song Waka Waka definitely did resurface, and a lot of 702 lenders have asked us, and they came out in numbers requesting that we play the original song so they can make their own judgment, and we do have that song.
Zamina mina, waka waka, zamina mina sangalewa, anawam zamina mina, waka waka, zamina mina sangalewa. waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam zamina mina waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, it's the same song, but we know that eventually they did get the proper crediting and songwriting credit, but it is. I mean,
that's the same.
And we keep saying borrowed, borrowed, borrowed.
No, it's stolen. Because how else do you? I mean, what is it? If I go to Senegal tomorrow and I hear a song by some local group and I come back and I write it exactly the same way, the same rhythm,
and add a little bit of tempo and what?
I mean, what tempo did she add?
Yeah, nothing. It's the same.
Which
It is
beat?
still.
No,
Ours is at least ours is the Waka Waka 2010.
Yeah,
it's
it's more upbeat. Amina.
They just increased the pace of the song, really.
That is all I have for you, Clement, this morning.
Okay, by the way, Bapelile said on Winnie Mandela Drive, not on Me Winnie Mandela Drive. So yesterday,
Winnie Mandela Drive.
No, we were having a chat earlier with Mateo and KG, because KG thinks that Amo must say, when she does traffic, she must say on Ndate
Vincent Chabalala,
Chabalala Road or
on Me Winnie Mandela, because I'm being
Winnie.
disrespectful.
Apologies.
What do you guys think? Would you be okay with Amu coming to give you traffic and she refers to Winnie Mandela Drive as Me Winnie Mandela Drive or Ndate Vincent? Because that's how, I mean, this is something that I face a lot when I interview people that are older than me, because how I was raised is it's not John Steenhuisen, ke Ntate John or Uncle Mr. Steenhuisen.
Yes.
So I've always struggled with that. Because I was raised anyone
that
older
makes
than
sense,
me.
because you are seeing them like this. So are you going to say I'm going to Ndate or Tambo International Airport? Do you know what I mean? Because it's things that have been named after them. Are you going to say that because you are so aware of how much respect
Or Uncle
you have
Bongani every time?
or every time I speak to Bongani, Uncle Bongani.
Uncle Bongani and Tate Bongani.
Or if a studio were to be named after him, then we'll say at Uncle Bongani Studio.
Studios. Yeah. What are your thoughts? 011-883-0702. You can send your WhatsApps as well on 072-702-1702. It's 8 o'clock.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Coming up, your chance, by the way, to win with Auto and General. You can send a WhatsApp on 072-702-1702 with the keyword Auto and General, plus your name and ID, and follow the prompts. And we could be calling you to play a quick driver challenge inspired by the worlds of motoring and golf, only on 702.
This is EWN.
Power imbalance questioned over tribunal's report into senior judge president, and the man accused of shooting DJ Wara is set to appear in court. Good morning, I'm Mikey Molapo. While Eastern Cape Judge President Selbin Mbenenge is expected to return to work after being cleared of gross misconduct, there are questions about whether the Judicial Conduct Tribunal should have paid more attention to the power imbalance between Mbenenge and a staffer who accused him of harassment. The tribunal cleared the senior judge of gross misconduct and sexual harassment allegations leveled against him by Andiswa Mengo. Mengo alleged that Mbenenge had sent her inappropriate and explicit WhatsApp messages between 2021 and 2022. However, the tribunal only found that the judge president acted improperly by having a flirtatious relationship with a junior employee, adding that Mengo compromised her credibility by lying under oath. The Judicial Services Commission is set to consider whether to endorse or reject the tribunal's report. Judges Matters Mbekezeli Benjamin says the tribunal's finding is still serious.
But what is significant, I think, is that the tribunal didn't completely exonerate the judge. They still found him guilty of misconduct. It's not gross misconduct which may lead to impeachment, but it is misconduct that might lead to a fine. And we've seen in past cases, the JSC has imposed a fine of up to R1 million on a judge.
We move to the courts, where the man believed to be the one who shot and killed Warwick Stock, commonly known as DJ Warris, will make his first appearance in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning. The 25-year-old was arrested at an informal settlement in Primrose on the East Rand on Friday night. The man has been on the run for just over a month following Stock's murder on December 16th. Arun Singh has more.
Members of Gauteng's Serious Violent Crimes Provincial Investigations Unit arrested the man who allegedly shot and killed media personality Warwick Stock in December last year. The suspect was nabbed at an informal settlement in Primrose on the East Rand on Friday evening. Police spokesperson Brenda Muradili.
The arrest happened around 2000 hours on 30 January 2026 in Marathon Informal Settlement, Primrose. The suspect will face charges of murder and contravention of the Immigration Act.
He will appear in the Joburg Magistrates Court this morning and is expected to join Victor Majola, the man accused of orchestrating Stock's murder, in the days to come. Majola, a Soweto taxi boss, was arrested 6 days after Stock was killed and was denied bail last month. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News.
Staying in the courts, the cross-examination of the state's cell phone analyst will continue when the Parapara burglary trial resumes today. Emanuela David, along with siblings Froliana and Ndilinasho Joseph, are charged with breaking and entering into President Cyril Ramaphosa's farm in February 2020 and stealing $580,000 in cash. Their trial resumes today at the Mudimole Regional Court in Limpopo. Tabiso Goba has more.
The cell phone analyst cannot be named due to a standing order in this trial to not reveal the identities of witnesses. In his testimony, the analyst has managed to track the movements of the three accused before, during and after the break-in at the Parapara farm. Using network data and Google mapping, the analyst's evidence places the three accused near the vicinity of the farm during the break-in.
The handsets with cell phone numbers associated with all these individuals activated cell phone towers in the vicinity of Palapala farm around the same times.
At the last court appearance, lawyers for accused number one, Emanuela David, grilled the analyst on the credibility of the data he presented to courts. Today is the opportunity for the lawyers representing the two other accused siblings to cross-examine the analyst's evidence. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
The National Health Department is urging parents to sign consent forms to allow their children to receive vaccinations protecting them from the human papilloma virus. HPV is a group of viruses that cause infections and irritations on the surface of the skin. The Health Department is launching its annual HPV vaccination drive today, targeting schools across the country. Spokesperson Foster Mahale says the vaccination will protect girls aged 9 years and older from developing cervical cancer later in life.
Over 5,700 cases of cervical cancer are reported every year in the country, while more than 3,000 women die from cervical cancer-related complications. This means unvaccinated girls and women living with HIV are at a higher risk of serious health complications if they develop cervical cancer compared to the general population.
He's urged parents to allow their children to receive school-based HPV vaccinations.
The success of the campaign to protect girls from this preventable yet deadly disease hinges on stronger collaboration, especially parents and caregivers who are required to complete the vaccination consent forms issued by schools to all eligible girl learners.
And a second round of talks between Russian, Ukrainian and US officials on a US-drafted plan to end the nearly 4-year Ukraine war will begin on Wednesday. The meetings were supposed to start yesterday. The delay was announced by Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky without giving any reason. The announcement comes a day after one of Russian President Vladimir Putin's top envoys held surprise talks with US officials in Florida without Kyiv. A Russian drone strike on a bus carrying mine workers in Ukraine's eastern Dnipropetrovsk region killed at least 12 people yesterday. Gold's trading at $4,554.15 an ounce. The rand's at 16.26 to the dollar, at 22.24 to the pound, at 19.27 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $66.07 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 South. This is between the Linksfield Road exit and the Gilulis interchange due to an earlier massive accident. Please be on the lookout if you're traveling within these areas. And then if you're traveling on the N1 North, queuing traffic between the N12 exit and the Diepkloof interchange.
And in your sport, Manchester United interim boss Michael Carrick gets a third win from 3-0, while Spurs held City to keep Arsenal 6 points clear. In netball, Spa Proteas beat England by 15 in the third test to win the series 2-1. And Pakistan will play at the T20 World Cup, but will not honour their scheduled match against co-hosts India on February the 15th.
A look at your weather. Partly cloudy skies in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected today. Joburg is starting at lows of 14 degrees, set to reach highs of 28. Pretoria is at 16 and 30. Vereeniging's at 15 and 31 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. While Eastern Cape Judge President Mbenenge is expected to return to work after being cleared of gross misconduct, there are questions about whether the Judicial Conduct Tribunal should have paid more attention to the power imbalance between Mbenenge and a staffer who accused him of harassment.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Your brain's a well-oiled machine. Now put it to work in the brain of 702. Enter on PrimeMediaPlus.com. T's and C's apply.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Eight minutes after 8 o'clock. Sanbonani, Dumelang, good morning. Welcome to the third and final hour of 702 Breakfast. Clement Manyetela in for Bongani. He should be back with you tomorrow. Thank you so much for staying with us here on 702. We're going to be taking your calls on 011-883-0702, responding to the conversations we've been having so far on 702 Breakfast. We're also taking your WhatsApps on 072 702 1702. And one of the questions that Kabazela asked us earlier is, if you have missed a flight, what was the reason that caused you to miss it? Have you missed a flight, Mateo, before?
Yeah, I have. It was once. I had been assigned late by the assignments editor. There was something that was happening, I think, in Cape Town, but they only decided at 4 o'clock that I should get on. I think it was a 5:30 flight.
Oh, please, come on.
And
I would have told them that. You still needed to go home and pack.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't going to work.
That's not going to happen.
But generally, are you a type of person that arrives to the airport much earlier? Because I'm a very last-minute guy. So if my flight is at 2:30 p.m., I plan to get to the airport at 2 p.m.
No, I'm a bad travel partner because I will have you there at 12.
I'm not.
Well, I'll get you there at 12. We'll wait there. We'll eat there.
No. I'm not eating I'm not coming to wait at the airport an hour before my flight.
That's what you should be doing. In case you've forgotten something, maybe you get to the airport and you find out you forgot your ID. You can sort it out.
This scams are international flights. You must be there 2 hours before. I have never been. It is because I've never. Because the assumption, the perception is otherwise you're not gonna make it on your flight. I have never, ever arrived at an airport 2 hours before for an international flight.
So you insist you'd rather be late?
Yeah, because I want to get there and just get onto the plane. Like, I don't want to go to the lounge or sit outside.
And eat and have a cup of coffee before you go.
I'll do
relax.
that at home.
I like to relax. I don't want to be late for a flight. And,
yeah.
Traveling with kids makes it very difficult to be on time. That's my only excuse. When I'm traveling with the kids, I'm never on time.
Yeah, and I think that's what would change the dynamics, because kids are a different ball game.
Yeah.
You do want to be more cautious with your time. Shanita, you are actually calling us from Bedford View. You've missed your flight before. What happened? Hi.
Hi, Clement. So we were going to New York and we got on, and the flight they told us was delayed. So we decided, okay, let's go into the lounge and sit and have a few drinks, and we'll see. They have those the board there that we can see when it's boarding, but. I guess we got so caught up talking and having a few
and
drinks.
enjoying drinks.
Exactly that. We had a friend who was a purser on the flight, and she said that if the flight's not too busy, she could upgrade us, which was great. Yeah, we had everything going, and she phones us to say, "Where are you all? The gates have closed." And we're like, "What? We've heard nothing. Absolutely nothing." We rush, but when you're going to this New York flight, it's all the liquids that they need in these clear-colored packets, things like that. So, of course, we missed the flight. So, but the funny thing is, so we were traveling on staff tickets anyway, okay, because we had family members working for the airline. So we were lucky, even though we missed the flights, we could take the flight the next day. But we were going to fly from New York to Chicago.
Oh,
so we had to cancel.
Okay.
We had to cancel our flight. Well, we couldn't get onto those flights. Our hotels, all of that, we had to cancel and rebook. But the funny part is, we had a friend of ours that was with us, and she was also doing the flight. So we decided to drop her off. And when we went to drop her off, her then fiance was already with another girl.
Oh, Shanita.
Oh my word, it was the worst thing ever.
Wait, so
I
your
think he thought
friend's
she's
partner,
already gone.
Yeah, because your friend's partner thought, they got on that flight at 9 p.m. But it was you guys were gonna leave the next day, and when you went back, he was already with someone else.
Yes, and I guess she didn't need to call him to come fetch me from the airport because we said we'll drop her off. Yeah.
That's hectic.
Yeah.
Oh
things
my God.
happen in
That's
weird
hectic.
ways, eh?
That is hectic. Shanita in Bedford V, thanks for the call. Tembinkosi, you in Bryanston. Hi.
Hey, Clem.
It's Adam.
So I missed the flight from Dubai. I chilled like a whole 8 days in Dubai. I didn't care about the shopping. And then on the last day, when I'm flying at 2 p.m., I decided 10 would mean I'm going to that outlet mall that's out there in the bundus of Dubai. And then I went to the outlet mall and I'm having the time of my life. I'm seeing Gucci, I'm seeing Michael Kors, I'm seeing everything. And then I must go back to the airport. Did I not get there? And then Dubai airport is massive. So I was like, okay, I'm running, but I'm running out of air as well. So I start walking, then flight gone. I had to spend another night in Dubai.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, so Tembinkosini, at least it was for shopping. I hope you still got some of your lovely stuff and managed to get the next flight. Thank you for sharing that story with us. Quick funny story. So I've never really missed an international flight, but I've chosen not to take one. In America, and I don't know if it's a system that exists everywhere, but in Atlanta, I was about to get on a flight to Mexico, and they said, does anybody that had overbooked the flight? So they give you an option to get off the flight, they give you money. And I opted for that.
And then
Imagine, so you've booked a flight, you're about to go to Mexico today, and they're saying, whoever is okay to maybe get the next flight, which is maybe in 6 hours' time. We've overbooked this flight. Can you get off? And then we're going to give you like $1,000.
So you
take the money.
I took the money, of course. I mean, because I wasn't rushing. It's a holiday. I will wait for 6 hours, my dear. But at least I've got $1,000.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Clement. Listen to this one. Malume Bongani radio station sounds so appropriate. It sounds just perfect. Not Bongani radio station, but Malume Bongani. I mean, that would just sound perfect. Walter from Cape Town. I'm the same also. I struggle to call people by their names if they are older than me. I think it's a generation that we come from. Thank you.
Good morning, Clement Manyatel and 702 listeners. Regarding the street names or the airport, Tambo, I think we don't have to say it because by naming those important things after one's name, they've already respected that person. So ours is just to say Winnie Mandela Drive. So the respect is already inherited in the naming. Thank you.
Hi, Clement and 702. No. Now we're taking it too far. It's not Mayor Winnie Mandela Drive. When I go onto Google Maps, I'm going to look for Mayor Winnie Mandela Drive and I'm not going to find it. We love our adults. We respect them. So we must say Date Nelson Mandela Square. I mean, really? It's the name of the street. There's no disrespect there. Some belief, guys.
What
Love your
about
show.
Kruger
Bye.
Street? Like, Paul Kruger Street. No, I think we all agree that is not going to work. 17 minutes after 8.
EWN Traffic.
All right. Some delays on the M1, Amuramela.
That's correct, Clement. This is between Empire Road all the way towards Corlett Drive while traveling within the inner city areas towards Parkmore as well as Bryanston. We're still seeing heavy traffic volumes along Republic Road towards Mayor Winnie Mandela Drive. There's also queuing traffic on Brown Fisher Drive, so please be on the lookout if you're traveling within this areas. We do know that a tree fell across Winnie Mandela Drive towards the Republic Road, so please be on the lookout and be patient along that route. There's also queuing traffic in the city of Tshwane on the N1 South between the Proof Pass interchange and the Flying Saucer turnoff that's due to an earlier accident. Stay tuned for more traffic updates.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
If you know your putters from your potholes, it's time to win with Auto and General on 702.
Auto and General is shifting your week into high gear on 702, and your shot at big winnings starts right here. We are putting you in the driver's seat for the world's best drivers competition, where motoring meets golf in a test of skill and speed. So you earn 1,000 Rand per correct answer, and if you've opted in for an obligation-free car or business car insurance quote from Auto and General, your winnings are doubled. You can send a WhatsApp on 072-702-1702 with the keyword Auto and General and follow the prompts. We could be in fact calling you to play if you've done that. Auto and General is a licensed non-life insurance FSP, T's and C's online. Our contestant this morning is Praneka Govender, who is all the way in KwaZulu-Natal. Praneka, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How's your knowledge of motoring and golf?
Fair.
Is it good enough?
It's good enough.
As long as it's good enough to have you walk away with a few thousand rands. So here's how it's going to work. I am going to say 2 words to you, and you need to say which one is golf related and which one is car related, right? So 2 words I'm going to shout out to you, and then you have to tell me like which one is golf related and which one is car related. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Bunker, bumper.
Okay, bunker is golf, bumper is car.
Correct. Tee off. Here's your next set of words. Tee off, pull off.
Tee off is golf, pull off is car.
Another 1,000 Rand. Last one, Praneka. Caddy, Cadillac.
Caddy is golf, Cadillac is car.
Praneka, you are a brilliant contestant. Now, that is 3,000 Rand. Now, for me to double your earnings, I need to know if you have opted in for an obligation-free insurance quote from Outsurance. Have you?
From Auto and General, you mean?
From Auto and General. Have you?
Yes, I did. Definitely.
Well, guess what? Congratulations to you. So we double your earnings just because you actually had opted in for an obligation-free insurance quote from Auto and General. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Praneka Govender. You have won yourself these 1,000 Rands thanks to Auto and General on 702.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Hi, Clement, in for Bongani Bingwa. In this case about the judge,
I mean, even the politicians know that bringing the party to disrepute is an offense that gets you out of office. For a judge, just the bringing the judicial community into disrepute should be enough to get you out, not using like criminal standards that you have to be guilty. No, even the perception of misconduct should just get you out. My 2 cents were Jimmy Midra.
Good morning, Clement Manyatela, New 702 team. This is Elton Gordon from eThekwini in Pinetown, KZN. I'm listening to the interview that you're doing regarding the judge who took special leave. You know, the most worrying part for me, Mr. Manyatela, is we're talking about 2 years. Is it 2 years on a full salary and benefits? It just brings me also to the Senzo Mkono special leave, quote unquote, being paid in full for such a long period of time. I just think it's spitting in the face of taxpayers. With the amount of exorbitant tax in this country, I honestly feel it's spitting in the face of tax. I mean, I fully understand that there are legal processes, but my God. Thank you for the great show, guys.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Adam, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm on a slight delay there, but it's my own delay. I've caught up, I think. Morning.
Well, speaking of delays, the Epstein files, my goodness. I mean, they were delayed, their release, that is. But we're getting more and more information that's coming out.
Yeah, 3 million pages of files. Now, I can't pretend I've read all 3 million pages, but I've seen various reports on the 3 million. It still leaves 3 other million that we haven't yet got. And why are they so slow in releasing all this stuff, bit by bit? What's being hidden is, of course, the question. But in the latest stuff, there are more photos of the former Prince Andrew, these days Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, with a mystery woman or girl, we don't know which. There's no suggestion of wrongdoing, except, of course, we all get this sort of guilt by association feeling, don't we? That if you were hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein, why were you hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein? In the case of the former Prince Andrew's former wife, so Sarah Ferguson, she obviously got some money out of him because she thanks Jeffrey Epstein in an email for it and then refers to him as my brother, my friend, I love you, will you marry me? Obviously, it's slightly tongue-in-cheek, but nonetheless, the fawning that was going on. A former British ambassador is also implicated. Lord Peter Mandelson is now basically resigned from the Labour Party in the UK, and his political career is done and dusted. Bill Gates is implicated in the latest emails. Elon Musk, who says, if you're inviting me to a party, make sure it's one of your wildest ones, he says to Jeffrey Epstein. Excuse me. There's a load of stuff, of course, and none of it actually proves anything. And all the people mentioned, there is absolutely no proof of them committing crimes or even doing wrong stuff. It's just the guilt by association that's difficult to shift in one's own head, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We've got our own former president, Jacob Zuma, here as well, who's been mentioned. And his foundation says, well, is he now guilty by association? We know about this dinner that was organized and this amazing Russian model that was in the presence seemingly of even our former president. Let's talk about
at the Ritz in London, wasn't it? Yeah,
absolutely.
At the
Ritz in London. Let's talk about these attacks now that continue in the Middle East. These Israeli attacks on Gaza. What's the latest?
Well, didn't we think that it had been sorted and settled, or did we pinch ourselves at the same time? So now it is thought something like 500 people have lost their lives in Gaza since October. Over the weekend, 30 people lost their lives in attacks by Israeli soldiers and helicopter gunships. That stuff's meant to have stopped. There's meant to be a ceasefire. It's meant to be calm on the streets of Gaza. There's meant to be reconstruction. None of that seems to be the case. So Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia have all clubbed together to condemn the latest actions and say all of this risks undermining the efforts to consolidate the region. It does still feel like Gaza is on a knife edge, and 2 million people are still on a knife edge. And the Rafah crossing, which is opening between Israel and Egypt, much vaunted Rafah crossing, is only now opening to a few dozen people a day, not the thousands and thousands of people who either want to get home or want to get medical treatment or whatever. It's still a mess, frankly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then finally, this hair-raising boxing match. That was something interesting to watch.
Gerald Miller, who took a punch, and his toupee came up. Of course, nobody knew he was wearing a toupee. At least I don't think anyone knew he was wearing a toupee. So as his toupee flipped up, cartoon style, he decided to take the whole thing off and threw it into the crowd, which would be a bit of a collector's item. Gerald Miller did win his boxing match, by the way, by a hair's breadth, of course. But in the course of it, afterwards, of course, everyone was saying, well, what happened with the hair? What's going on here? Hair raising or what? He said, well, he's going to blame his mother. He went to his mum's house 2 days before and used a dodgy-looking shampoo, as you do. And it turned out to be something with too much bleach in it, which he says took his hair off. So with 2 days' notice, he sourced a toupee and stuck it on for his big fight. It sounds a little far-fetched, but do you know what? As hair-raising sagas go, at least when he lost his hair, he didn't lose his head.
Yeah, listen, we'll take it. Adam Gilchrist, thank you.
Thank you, Clement.
EWN Business.
27 after 8 o'clock. Mateo, the collapse of gold has hit the local market.
Yeah, the GSE was down 4% as gold and silver plunged on Friday. Gold and silver have extended their sell-off this morning, deepening losses from last Friday's collapse as a firmer dollar and profit-taking from traders drains momentum from a rally that saw the gold price hit $5,000 at one point. Spot gold has lost around 7% this morning at $4,551 an ounce now, having crashed nearly 10% on Friday. Silver, which had surged alongside gold on safe haven demand and speculative inflows, also remained under pressure after falling 30% on Friday, now at around $76 per ounce. Now, according to analysts, the pullback followed a violent reversal on Friday when optimism around U.S. interest rate cuts collided with a sudden reassessment of Federal Reserve leadership after President Donald Trump nominated former Fed Governor Kevin Walsh to succeed Chair Jerome Powell come May this year.
Fast food owner Famous Brands goes on share repurchase program. What's happening there?
No, so this share buyback is basically Famous Brands saying we think our shares should be valued much more. Famous Brands has approved a general share repurchase program of up to 5% of its issued ordinary share capital. The company has cited confidence in its cash position and concerns that the group's share price does not reflect its underlying value. Now, companies do buy back their own shares primarily to return cash to shareholders, boost the stock price by reducing supply, and signal confidence in its undervalued stock. The owners of Steers, Debonair's and Wimpy says the program will run until May this year. The company's shares were up 5% on Friday at 58 Rand per share.
How are the markets?
We saw a lot of weakness on the markets. JSE down 5,000 points on Friday. Valterra, the platinum producer, the worst off, down 14%. Northern was down 12.5%. Sibanye-Stillwater down 9%, with Harmony also down 9%. A good day for AB InBev, up 2.7%. British American Tobacco was up more than 0.5%, with Mr. Price up more than 2%. The rand at this hour, 16 Rand 25 against the US dollar, is quite flat this morning against all three major currencies at 19 Rand 25 against the euro and 22 Rand 22 cents against the British pound. Price of gold, $4,556 an ounce. Platinum, $1,964 an ounce, while Brent crude is at $65.60 a barrel. That's your morning business. Stephen Grotes with more this afternoon.
8:30, Maki has the latest in Eyewitness News. Good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Judges Matter says the Judicial Conduct Tribunal report clearing Eastern Cape Judge President Mbenenge of sexual harassment allegations is not the end of the road. Mbenenge has been on special leave since early 2024 following allegations that he sexually harassed a junior secretary at the court, Andiswa Mengo. The Judicial Conduct Tribunal had probed Mengo's allegations that the senior judge had sent her inappropriate and explicit WhatsApp messages between 2021 and 2022. The tribunal released its report finding the judge president only guilty of a degree of misconduct and not gross misconduct and sexual harassment. It found that he acted improperly by having a flirtatious relationship with a junior employee. He was also found guilty of breaching the Code of Judicial Conduct and inappropriate conduct for a judge. The tribunal says Mengo's credibility was severely compromised because she had clearly lied about some issues under oath. The Judicial Services Commission is set to consider whether to endorse or reject the tribunal's report. Research and Advocacy Officer at Judges Matter, Mbekezeli Benjamin.
So the JSC, that is the Judicial Service Commission, sitting without the members of Parliament. So it will only be the judges and the lawyers who will consider the tribunal report, the statements from the judge and the complainant, and then they will make the final decision on the guilt or otherwise of the judge.
DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga says he's considering running for one of the top positions in the party's leadership structure. The DA is set to have a National Elective Congress in April, where it will be electing a new federal leadership. While the DA has not officially given prospective candidates the green light to start their campaigns, background noises have already started. Tabiso Goba takes a look.
Until campaign season is officially open, the DA prohibits prospective candidates from publicly revealing which federal position they want to campaign for. Speaking to EWN this weekend, DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga says he's looking to step up to the party's national leadership.
Sol is not going to run for the leader of the party, that I can tell you without any shadow of doubt. I am being lobbied by other provinces and including my own province to run for one of the senior positions, which I am considering.
The DA's mayoral candidate for Tshwane, Celia Brink, also told EWN he's seriously considering running for one of the top leadership positions. However, Brink says he won't be challenging John Steenhuisen for party leader. Instead, he says he's looking for a position which he can also balance with being mayor of Tshwane should the DA win the elections in the capital. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
The Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities has cautioned young people about the rising scourge of substance abuse. The department has observed an increasing trend of alcohol and drug misuse, with young people becoming more reliant on these substances. It warns that substance abuse contributes to school dropouts, unemployment, crime, mental health challenges, as well as gender-based violence and femicide. Spokesperson Cassius Silala says substance abuse among the youth is a cause for concern.
As part of the government response, the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities will continue to work with the Central Drug Authority, the Department of Social Development, the Department of Health, Law Enforcement Agency and civil society organization in strengthening prevention programs, awareness campaigns and psychosocial support services.
And China has executed 4 members of the Bai family mafia, one of the notorious dynasties that ran scam centers in Myanmar. According to reports, they were among 21 of the family's members and associates who were convicted of fraud, homicide, injury and other crimes by a court in Guangdong province. Last November, the court sentenced 5 of them to death, including the clan's patriarch Bai Suo-cheng, who died of illness after his conviction. Last week, China executed 11 members of the Ming family mafia as part of its crackdown on scam operations in Southeast Asia that have entrapped thousands of Chinese victims. Look at your weather. A partly cloudy Monday in store for Gauteng today, with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures are starting at lows between 14 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 28 and 31 degrees.
And in the traffic in Tembisa, we've got roadworks along the R21 North. This is approaching Olifantsfontein Road. Delays coming out of the R25 turn off. There's also queuing traffic reported on the R24 West, all the way between the OR Tambo interchange and the Kilulis interchange. Traffic is really nightmarish there. If you're traveling along this route, please be patient and plan to spend about 40 minutes of your time this morning.
The top story in Eyewitness News. Judges Matter says the Judicial Conduct Tribunal report clearing Eastern Cape Judge President Mbenenge of sexual harassment allegations is not the end of the road.
Imagine a holiday where the only thing on the to-do list is to enjoy yourself. With NCL, world-class dining, award-winning entertainment, and a variety of onboard experiences come as standard. So enjoying yourself is easy breezy. We sail to over 400 destinations worldwide, including Europe, the Caribbean, and beyond. Your dream cruise is calling. Visit ncl.com for the best deals or contact your travel agent today. Conditions apply. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here.
There's a song that goes, "Money can't buy me love." And that's true. But then they told us all you need is love, which anybody with a mortgage will tell you most certainly is not true. Love won't pay your parking tickets or your student loan. It's also needy. It requires effort, availability, constant care. But more importantly, love requires time. And while money can't buy you love, it can certainly free up some of your time. Time to spend on the things you love, with the people you love. And if you're looking, maybe even time to find the one you love. That's why, after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do the things you love. And don't you love that about investing? Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Get the advantage this tax year end with Sage. No stress, no scrambling. Just seamless HR and payroll that keeps you ahead of UIF, PAYE, and employment equity. All in one smart cloud solution. With automated compliance, real-time accuracy, and simplified HR and payroll. Give your business the tax year end advantage. That's Sage. Visit tax.sage.co.za today.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Clement. Dodo here. I missed my flight 3 times. I think the first one made me all the time lose my flight. I lost my flight when I was going for my graduation for my postgrad in Cape Town. I lost my flight last year when I was going for my master's degree graduation. So, it's bad. It's really, really bad. Thank you. Nice show. Bye.
Clement, it's Peyton here. Good morning, brother. Missing flights, I believe, is for rich people. And since I'm not rich, I have never missed a flight. I guess my voice note is mute on the subject, but I think missing flights is definitely for the wealthy. Thanks, Clem.
Is it for the wealthy? I don't know. Cindy Paluta, have you ever missed a flight? Like, are you a serial flight misser?
I've never missed a flight.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do in that moment. I would have complete panic.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it because you've got kids you travel with, but you don't always, obviously, most times travel with the kids? So are you a type that always wants to be at the airport way in advance?
I just know that I'm flying on that day at that time. So why would I miss the flight? But in saying that, stuff happens. Hey, if there's an accident on the way to the airport and you're stuck in that traffic and your plane is leaving, like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And it happens. Sometimes people oversleep. They miss their planes. I don't want to know. I actually don't want to know.
Yeah, and imagine when they do that call out and that's your name and they're like, Mr. Manyatela, if you're around here, like, we are about to close because you're the last one.
I do know somebody who missed their flight because they were busy in one of the pubs at the airport and they were calling, and they don't make the announcements. It doesn't go into the lounges. It doesn't go into the pubs, whatever. Yeah.
Someone called about that.
His wife was not happy.
Yeah. So it's 20 minutes now before 9 o'clock.
Hi, I missed my flight going to Santa Fe. And because I decided on the 11th hour to apply for my visa, expedited it, still didn't receive it. Literally, I got my visa as the flight was taking off. So I actually still drove to the airport, sat there, waited for the next flight, which cost me then, that was 2016, which cost me 17,000 Rand. Yeah, so leaving things for last minute, you'll pay the price. Thank you.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, another win for Man United under this interim coach.
Yes, Michael Carrick is his name, and he was brought in to take over from Ruben Amorim just until they find somebody else. And somebody posted a stat, I think it's quite cruel, but Michael Carrick has now got Man United 3 wins in 3 games in a row, which is more than Ruben Amorim was able to do in his 14 months. And so the British media, as kind and gentle as they are to everybody, are going, was it a wasted year under Ruben Amorim and all of that? And we can sit and we can argue those facts because there's always 2 sides to the coin, because had it gone the other way, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's done now. Man United yesterday beating Fulham 3-2. Šeško got a dramatic late winner to give Carrick his 3rd win. The Šeško's goal came in the 94th minute. Here's Carrick.
I'm not sure it's more significant, but I knew today was going to be really a tough game. You know, you're kind of getting questions all week and people expecting, you know, what you're going to do about breaking down a low block and teams that come in. Fulham was never going to do that. They've showed that this is a really, really good team. So we knew today was going to be a big challenge, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy, wasn't going to go smoothly, and even at 2-0.
Manchester City squandered a 2-0 lead they were held 2-2 by Spurs. City stays 6 points behind Arsenal. Aston Villa lost to a 10-man Brentford 1-0. Forest finished 1-0 with Palace. One game tonight, Sunderland hosting Burnley. In the local premierships, Gekone beat Galaxy 1-0. Grobler, who scored the goal in the first half, was later sent off in the second half with Madonna. They got into a scuffle. In the CAF Confed Cup, Kaizer Chiefs beat Zesco 1-0 to go second in Group D. Stellenbosch going down 3-0 to Belouizdad. In netball, Spa Proteas pulled off a series win over the world number 4 England, taking the 3rd test 65-50. Here's your captain, Kanisa Chowane.
Today we needed to go back to the basics, but I think more than the game plan, it was the hunger to win. We went out there, the team was really hungry to win, and you could see we went for every ball. We scored, we jumped for almost everything to make sure that we put ourselves in a good position to actually take the win.
Carlos Alcaraz is now the youngest male to complete tennis's career Grand Slam. The 22-year-old finally adding the Australian Open to his trophy cabinet. He came from a set down to beat Djokovic yesterday. The women's title was won by Elena Rybakina. In Singapore Sevens rugby, the Blitzboks finished 4th. They lost to New Zealand 14-12. They lie in 3rd place on the overall table. And at the T20 Cricket World Cup starts on Saturday. Yesterday, Pakistan handing Australia their biggest ever defeat in a T20. Just 5 days to go to the start of the tournament. Pakistan clinching a whitewash series win there. They won the 3rd T20 by 111 runs. So Pakistan was not going to play at the T20 World Cup over safety concerns, but have now overnight confirmed that they will play at the T20 World Cup. They just won't play their scheduled match against co-hosts India, which is February the 15th. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
17 minutes before 9 o'clock. Amu, you've got a wrap of our traffic. How are the roads looking now?
Well, Clement, unfortunately, we still have got queuing traffic. In fact, heavy traffic volumes on the N12 as well as the R24 west between the R21 and the Kidulis interchange. Please be on the lookout if you're traveling along these routes and try to avoid if you can. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N3 south between Linksfield Road and the Geldernes interchange. I'll have more traffic updates right at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
When choosing a medical aid, pay close attention to the benefits. Like the benefit of skipping phone calls and pharmacy queues with the convenience of the Discovery Health app. The benefit of one app that makes finding the right doctor, booking an appointment, submitting a script, having medicine delivered, and your claim paid simply effortless. Just another benefit that makes Discovery Health Medical Scheme for your health like no other. Speak to your financial advisor or visit discovery.co.za to get a quote. Discovery Health Medical Scheme is a registered medical scheme. The Discovery Health app is brought to members by Discovery Health.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
When the brightest brains collide in the biggest general knowledge quiz in Gauteng, it's time for the Brain of 702.
15 minutes before 9 o'clock, the brain of 702 is back, and it's time to put your brilliance on display. Prove your mental might for your chance to win a share of 130,000 Rand in cash of the brain of 702. You could win 1,500 Rand in this round and another 1,500 Rand if you win at the end of the day on 702 Drive. The brain of 702, your brain, our stage. So here's how it's going to work. The winner of this round, as I explained, will get 1.5 and will pay for another 1.5 on 702 Drive with John Pellman. The winner at the end of the day will be crowned the brain of the day and go on to play again tomorrow and possibly through the rest of the week, where on Friday afternoon they stand to win 10,000 Rand as the weekly brain of 702. And ultimately, you could go on to win a further 30,000 Rand should you be declared the brain of 702. So if you want to be part of this action, quite easy. Go register on primemediaplus.com and we could call to put you through our qualifier. We've got our two contestants who are ready to go head to head with each other. We've got Siyabonga Nchingila, who is in Johannesburg for us, our contestant number one. Siyabonga, how are you feeling?
Just came in, but we'll see.
All right, let's try fix that line, Siyabonga, because it's breaking and it may give us some challenges when we start the competition. Ashley Laurent, you are contestant number 2 in Rivonia. Are you feeling good?
Good morning, Clement. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, so we will start in a moment with our two contestants. We'll start with Siyabonga. The producers are still just establishing that line with Siyabonga and Chingila, who's in Johannesburg. As soon as they're done, we will pray the brain of 702. In fact, I see they've got Siyabonga on a better line now. Siyabonga, you can hear us clearly, right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys clearly.
Okay, perfect. You're ready to go?
Yes, I am.
KG, let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word chromium.
Come again.
Spell the word chromium.
CHROMIUM.
Correct. True or false? Arborio is a type of rice.
Come again.
Arborio is a type of rice. True or false? True. Correct. True. Complete the saying. Actions speak louder than what?
Word.
Correct. On what date is International Workers' Day each year?
May 1.
Correct. In radio and TV, the abbreviation UHF stands for ultra high what?
Frequency.
Correct. True or false? The Speaker of the National Assembly is Togoti Diza.
Correct.
Correct. Which Miriam had a hit with her album Homeland?
Come again.
Which Miriam had a hit with her album Homeland? Miriam who?
Oh, Miriam Makeba.
Correct. Which place is further north? Potchefstroom or Soweto?
Further north is... No, sorry, Potchefstroom.
Soweto would have been the correct answer, my friend. Let's look at the judges. 7 correct answers. For you, Siyabonga, you've got. Are you happy with that round, Siyabonga?
I think I could have gone faster, so not really, not really very happy.
Well, you never know. That could just be the score you need to go to the next round. Ashley, 7 is the score to beat. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, KG, let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word ecology.
ECOLOGY.
Correct. True or false? Tofu is a type of rice.
False.
Correct. Complete the saying, all's well that ends what?
Well.
Correct. On what date is International AIDS Day each year?
1st of December.
Correct. In computers, the abbreviation FTP stands for what transfer protocol?
File.
Correct. True or false? The Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly is Annelie Lotriet.
False.
True. Which Judith had a hit with a cry, a smile, and a dance? Judith who?
Pass.
Sipuma. Which place is further west? Kimberley or Uppington?
Kimberley.
Uppington. Of which South American country was Nicolas Maduro the president?
Venezuela.
Correct. Does the word elaborate mean understand or explain?
Explain.
Correct. Charles Darwin believed evolution works by... Can't get to the next one. Uh-oh. You also have got 7 correct answers. Ashley, you know what that means?
Sudden death.
Yeah. Siyabonga, do you know what that means?
Sudden death, but I'm not sure how it works.
Well, I am going to explain to you how it works. Now, I am going to give you guys questions each. So I'll start with you, Siyabonga, and then I'll come with you to you, Ashley. We are not necessarily limited in terms of time, but you can't take forever to respond to a question. So I'll ask you a question. If you get it right or wrong, Siyabonga, I'll go to Ashley, and whoever ends up getting the more of the right questions then is the winner of this round. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with you, Siyabonga. Your question is, in politics, who is the leader of the MK?
Jacob Zuma.
That is correct. Ashley, here's your question. In politics, who is the leader of the EFF?
It's Julius Malema.
That is correct. Siyabonga, your question. How many batsmen bat together in a cricket test?
2 at a time.
That is correct. Ashley, how many umpires are on the field on a cricket test?
2.
That is correct. Siyabonga, here's your question. Which is the largest planet in our solar system?
Jupiter.
Correct. Ashley, which is the smallest planet in our solar system?
Mercury.
That is correct. Siyabonga, what term is used to express a measure of hotness or coldness?
What term is used? Oh, temperature.
Correct. Ashley, what is the name of the device used to measure temperature?
Thermometer.
Correct. Okay. Siyabonga, in which southern hemisphere country is the Murray-Darling the lowest river system?
Sorry, come again?
In which southern hemisphere country is the Murray-Darling the longest river system?
Australia.
That is correct. Ashley, in which northern hemisphere country is the Mackenzie the longest river?
In Canada.
Oh my goodness, that is correct. Okay, there's a tiebreaker question here because all of you have gotten all of the sudden death questions correct. Now, the tiebreaker question, I'm going to ask the question, and whoever gets closest to the answer is the winner. And I start with you, Siyabonga. How many ministers are there currently in the South African cabinet right now?
Including deputy ministers or just ministers?
How many cabinet ministers? Just the ministers. Cabinet. Because deputies are not part of cabinet.
15.
15. Ashley, what's your answer? How many ministers are there currently in the South African cabinet?
27.
27. Well, the correct answer is 32, which means, Ashley, you are the winner of this round because you have come closest and closest to the correct answer. Siyabonga, well played, my brother. That was incredible, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Ashley, how are you feeling?
You're very nervous. Well done, Siyabonga. That is intense.
Yeah, that was quite intense. Well done to both of you guys. 32 is the number of ministers that are currently in the South African cabinet. Congratulations to you, Ashley. You are our reigning brain. You have won 1,500 Rand thanks to 702. You will play again with John Pellman this afternoon. If you're still standing after that round, you will be the brain of the day and continue the battle for brilliance. Now, for your chance to prove your mental might and to win your share of 130,000 Rand, you can visit primemediaplus.com to register. You could become the brain of 702 and walk away with the ultimate general knowledge prize.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
5 minutes before 9 o'clock, Bratibos is here to tell us what's coming up on the show between 9 and 12. How are you doing, Bratibos?
I'm cool, man. I'm
Would
good.
you
I'm
have
good.
gotten that far?
I doubt. But then I love how you say Bratibos and you're talking about Mewini Madikizela Mandela. And what's up with that? What's up with that?
Tate OR Tambo. I'm going to Tate OR Tambo International Open.
And you put it on Waze.
Yeah. Louis Botha.
I don't
Yeah.
want to waste too much of your time. I know this has been a humdinger of a brain, Clement, so I'll go straight to it. On the open line, we'd look at the PM27 lobby that is gaining traction. Patrice Motsepe, is he standing or is he not standing? The weekend newspapers were saying that there are some interesting individuals who are associated with the campaign of Patrice Motsepe in 2027 within the ANC race, and ultimately the South African presidency. We'll see how that goes. And there was a woman who was screaming at the policeman for not speaking isiZulu in KZN.
I hope she gets held accountable.
I hope so too. We don't have time for tribalism and that sort of nonsense. It's taking us backwards. So we'll look into that and ask, do we still have strong elements of tribalism and regionalism in South Africa in 2026? And then South Africa currently is experiencing unprecedented surge in the online gambling where ordinary people are compromising their money to buy groceries and they'd rather use that money on betting. So, and the betting amounts have gone up to about 1.5 trillion bucks of people who are betting in South Africa. Family matters later on, Clement. The parental absence impact of not being raised by biological parents. All that between 9 and 12.
All right, that's what's coming between 9 and 12 here on 702 with Bratibos.
Incredible. Those people, they have welled up with Wow, Clement, wow, the 702 brain of, you're not incredible. Wow, the two contestants, wow, man, that was incredible. Those people, they have welled up with general knowledge in their heads. Cheers.
We at Monument Dental are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium when you switch? For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Clement and the team. Isn't it funny that these big wigs cops, like the Hawks Head Sonona, they come in Madlanga, they when they do their the unscrupulous work with the criminals out there, allegedly, they find their lives are not in danger or anything. Everything is okay because those criminals are just terrorizing the citizens of this country and their lives is fine. But when it's time for accountability now, all of a sudden, my life, their lives are in danger. Now, as the citizen, the departments now must be worried about them and then make sure that they are safe and everything. But when they were stealing, when they were doing wrong things, they didn't see nothing wrong with it. But when the accountability knocks on their doors, then all of a sudden it's a problem. We must worry about their lives. No.
Yeah, I wonder what he thinks the risk is to his life, if he's really fearing for his life. But yeah, you can go read about it on the Sowetan newspaper. They are really detailing what transpired over this weekend when he went to the office and he didn't register, and apparently he was told, you parked outside, you walked in, didn't register, you were meeting officers outside, you wanted to take home your state computer as well, and he had to be stopped. And now we're hearing news that he is now in hiding because he's fearing for his life. I'm sure you'll hear some more developments throughout the day here on 702. Thank you for listening to the Monday edition of 702 Breakfast. Bongani will be back with you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Mikey Malapo. Judges Matter says it would be premature for Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge to report for duty before the process into his conduct is completed. Mbenenge has been on special leave for nearly 2 years and is expected to return to work after being cleared of gross misconduct and sexual harassment allegations by a junior staffer. Andi Somengo alleged that Mbenenge had sent her inappropriate and explicit WhatsApp messages between 2021 and 2022. The tribunal only found that the Judge President acted improperly by having a flirtatious relationship with a junior employee